Now.
Alright.
Fuck.
Hello.
Why are you like...
Okay, this one's gonna be a little different. It's not proper D&D. Everybody's just gonna be using a D6. And depending on the various actions of the players, this will either go for a long time or about 20 minutes. We'll find out.
Oh. Oh, okay.
That's, huh.
Set everything on fire, I
So,
understand.
without further ado, allow me to set the stage. All of you have been called to the manor house of a Diakovian noble, who, in all of your letters that you have gotten to come to this destination, have talked about proposing additional taxes on the colonized state of Galadrius to better benefit the mainland. Upon learning of all of your invitation to this event, various factions reached out and contracted some of you to do some various things. Now you are all arriving at the manor house now. It's somewhat midday, and as you look around you see a bunch of other various noble types walking inward into these large stone archways that comprise the main entry hall. I never got anyone else's name, so I can't tell someone to go do something, and it's suddenly hard for me.
Ew.
But they are all in your greeting hall, whatever your character's name is, Dylan.
Tom. I am Tom.
Tom, they're all in your greeting hall, if you would like to quickly describe yourself, and welcome them.
I am a gray-bearded, gray-haired dwarf, wearing a black suit, black shirt, with a white tie, wearing gloves. I'm not particularly tall or particularly short for a dwarf. I'm just average. Okay, yeah.
Looking around, you see all of your guards and 5 important individuals that you have invited to your establishment.
As a-
That was loud.
Quick question.
Go
What
on.
would their titles be? Ambassador or...
Lord is an easy one. Go with Lord. It's the safe one.
What would the standard greeting be for a lord?
Lords
Greeting
and
my
ladies.
lords? What?
Lords and ladies.
Greetings, lords and ladies, to my humble abode. I invite you all here to go and talk about possibility of increased taxes on our colony.
Oh, very good, sir. Good lord. Here to try to settle this for us all, I see.
Yes.
A
Something else.
small gnome will pipe up and say, I don't know about anyone else, but I don't know anyone else's names. Greetings, I'm Hendrik, the representative from Kinglegrad.
A pleasure. Name's Leland, a representative from... No, not that one. Where the fuck did it go?
Salika.
Representative from Salika. I couldn't find it in the important info for some reason. There it
He's
is.
a halfling.
I am. I'm wearing kind of more elegant looking clothes. Dark green cloak and just earthen looking colors all around.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt, I guess. So, stepping forward. My name is Lord Horace Guildwold. Pleasure to meet all of you. And standing before you is about a 5'8", fairly portly man, has like a heavy curled mustache, and just kind of short combed back hair, wearing like the basic like slightly nicer like dress trousers and shirt. And I want to say suspenders, but I don't know if my country would have suspenders now that I think about that.
The answer to
Just
that
go
is
with it, man.
yes.
Yes, so suspenders, like a light traveling jacket and a hat.
You also see a woman step forward. She puts her hands on a cane and she bangs it to the floor. And she's a slightly short, at 5 foot elf woman who has long, dark hair reaching to about the mid of her back, and her eyes are icy blue, so cold that they might cut you. And she just looks at them and she goes, "My name is Nashala. I am a representative for Balnu. It is nice to meet you all." And she steps back into her place, gently releasing her hands from her cane.
Only one left
Yeah.
toe.
You're literally the last. It's up to you now. You got to name and describe yourself.
Matt, you're Attica, right?
He's a human, yes.
I am a human.
I only have 2 names on here. Matt, what's your name?
Horace Guildwold.
Chris?
Look at us being responsible in chat.
I care not.
Well, you didn't know our names, so there's our names in Discord chat.
Yes, which no one else can see, so it matters not.
I like all the fun, like, mystical names, and then you have Tom.
I don't have a last
I don't
name.
know. I'm sitting on Horace.
Wait, what was your last name? Horace what?
Horace Guildwold.
Ooh, it's a castle.
Hope, do you have a name and description?
Yeah. I'm sorry, my anxiety is just punching me in the face right now.
Wham.
Shut up. You just kind of female or standing kind of towards the walls, mostly to the door that she came in at. Just, she's 6'4", very like earthy green, mid-length black hair with braids going all through it, like literally everywhere. And like kind of little bits tattooed here, and she's just standing there with her arms crossed, and just greets all of you with just her name, and that's about it.
And what is your name?
Name's Sagra.
Well then. If I have that right, that's all. Everybody right, Eric?
I believe so.
Greetings, my fine fellows. I hope to see you all well on this day. We're gonna move this forward to a better area than the greeting hall. Turn the greeting hall anyway.
Well, I would quite happily do so. Hope you have some food, my good lord. I'm a bit peckish myself.
Yes, we shall go and dine now then. To dining hall? Yeah.
Well, food isn't done
Dining
yet.
room?
You've got some time to
room?
go yet, but
Okay, well, What time is it then?
food will probably be done in a couple hours.
No, I mean like
What time is
Morning.
it? Oh, it's
morning, afternoon, evening.
it's afternoon. Like, it's probably, to give it a time, like around 3, and you guys will probably be eating around 6, 7-ish. You have some time.
Well, I'm afraid that the food is not yet done, Horace, but I could perhaps have some snacks brought out for you if you'd like that.
Oh, I'd find that quite delightful.
Okay, I go and gesture to one of my servants. I assume they're servants, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna make that so. I've brought some basic snacks up.
They scuttle off to run to the kitchen and see what they can pilfer before dinner that won't have the chefs trying to get them quartered.
What? Sugar? I think.
I can't spell that.
It's in the chat.
Sagra.
What?
Shagar.
Oh, it wasn't there just a second ago for me. Sorry.
You good?
Well, if there's nothing else, then I imagine that we will begin deliberations, because from what I understand, we have a lot of arguing to do. And whenever dinner comes, we will have that and then retire to our rooms that I am assuming you have prepared for us all.
Yes, I have prepared rooms for everyone. Yeah.
Very well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then shall we get ready?
Yes, would you prefer to go and begin deliberations immediately, or would you prefer to freshen up first?
Well, we've all been traveling for a long time, so I'm going to go and find your facilities.
Very well.
Yes, that would
I
probably
gesture to some servants to go and lead them to where places are.
Nishala's gonna clear her throat and she's gonna be like, is there anybody to take my bags?
I gesture to servants again. Hopefully that there are some still left to do so.
There's a couple.
She's going to take off her jacket and she's going to hand it to one of the guards and she's gonna be like, very careful with that.
I imagine the guards just vaguely blinking at her.
A little terrified, just take it and begin, like, holding it closer to themselves, like, oh, okay, I'll be real careful.
And it is never seen again.
Well, if you don't mind, good sir, I would like to take a bit of a walk, stretch my legs. It's been a rather cramped journey.
Very well then.
Walking
Shall we meet
around.
up again in half hour or so?
Seems fine by
Works
me.
quite well for me.
Very well then. Should be a nice boardroom, something.
Getting a, walking around, getting a, idea of the castle grounds. You have the residential area off to a side. Everybody has a room, and they're in relatively close proximity to each other. There is not a room for the manor lord. They are obviously have their own thing somewhere else. Other than that, you have the main hall area. A large dining establishment connected to a kitchen of some sort. And out the back you have a courtyard with some amount of foliage and stuff to look at. But after about a half hour, sure,
I
everybody
was
go on.
gonna question. While I'm walking around, can I just talk to random guards, servants, see what kind of gossip's going between them? Anything with the events coming up, such and the like. Servants tend to hear things that a lot of people don't.
Talking around to some of the servants, what's your exact question? I had to read something, sorry.
Just see what kind of gossip, rumors, standard things they'd be talking about the coming ups.
Gossip and rumors about things coming up? By and large, there's not a lot that they really know about. It seems that they are kept in the dark of actual, like, affairs of state. They have been made aware that should the master of the house's proposition go through, then they themselves will see a bit of a raise. So they're quite excited about that, because and then they kind of start going off about, like, potential things that they're going to go off and buy and eat and things like that, depending on how jovial and talky you are being with them.
Very much so. Cheerful bloke.
keyboard's going to be a necessary evil for this.
I figured.
Okay then.
Anything else?
No, that's what I wanted to do with my half hour.
I mean, there's a halfling and a gnome that are just cleaning up, so I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Alright, they're all doing the same thing, getting a view of the area. Everybody's doing it. Cleaning up from the road, making sure everything's all nice and presentable for diplomat stuff.
Gossiping like an old biddy.
But after about a
Always talk.
half hour, everybody reconvenes in the dining area.
Ah, that feels. It's so much better to be clean, coming right off the road like that. As he just stretches his arms out a little bit.
The trek over the mountains was very rough, in all honesty.
I can imagine.
Oh, quick question, Eric. I suppose you have a map of this
No.
land at all?
What do you mean by a map of this land?
I just mean of the continent.
Of the
like, where
continent?
Of where the different countries are in relation to each other. And if don't bother trying to describe them, I would not do anything for me. If you don't, it's fine.
Give me just a moment.
He does. Rain made one, I'm pretty sure.
No, Rain has not made
No,
one, sadly.
Rain made one for the other place.
Oh, that's right. That's the other one.
There you go, Don.
You right. You
Is that
right.
okay?
Okay. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Nope.
Not now.
No.
Okay, so... Don't do your thing. You there?
Dylan? Uh-oh.
That's
Hello?
it already?
What
Oh,
the- Hi.
there we go.
hello.
What did you do?
I have absolutely no idea. I just
Okay.
could not hear anybody at all.
Weird.
Maybe a Discord freak out. I don't know.
Okay.
Well.
Go.
Anything happen in like the last 30 seconds?
Sat there and waited for you to start talking.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I did not. Anyway, so I assume I offer them all a drink, see if they want anything.
Your servants managed to find some things that they can appetize themselves with.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, so then, shall we start off then?
Oh, down to business. Sounds like a great plan.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Not gonna end well.
Ooh,
Begin your proposal, Master Tom.
As I warned everybody else in the beginning, I had plans for this, and then the headset broke and I had to go buy a new one, and I have no plans anymore.
He's
Don't
okay.
admit that.
He's okay.
This is going to be absolutely horrible.
Just go on.
He's okay.
Fake it till
Anyway.
you make it.
I didn't have that. Okay, anyway, so starting off. Well then, I have a proposal for increasing the taxation of Galadrius in order to go and increase profits over here in our lands. To be able to go and use more of the money. I lost at the end.
Well, might I ask what brought about the desire for the raising of these taxes?
I don't know,
How will it
Eric.
affect us?
I mean, more money's more money.
What brought this up?
More money's more money.
literally no reason at all.
No
More
official
money's more money.
reason, but more money's more money, and if you have more money, you can do more things.
More money, more power.
I don't even have any plans for this at all. I kind of need something to build up here.
You gotta fly by the
literally-
seat of your pants, my dude.
No,
Yeah.
I literally can't do anything with this at all. I'm sorry.
Just roll with it.
I can't. That's the problem. I
You're
need
gonna
something
build.
to
You're
pick
gonna
up.
build a school.
You're going to build many things.
Save poor people.
You're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
say that you're gonna build a school, but then you're actually going to build a big hot tub
I'm a
for
dwarf.
yourself.
I'm a dwarf, a Diakov dwarfer. Honorific renowned combatants. That goes against the character I've been given. I'm sorry, I
That's
actually kind of
okay.
need something for this.
Well, then look at
I'm sorry,
honorific. What's something that would assist things?
No. I told you I had plans. I don't remember any of them.
Well, let's see
Um,
here. We have all the things of infrastructure. We have increasing any amount of defensive budgets in case anybody decides to be annoying. We
Infrastructure.
have more exploration abilities. We have greater magical research things. We have...
Okay, let's go with the infrastructure. Okay, what's the basic infrastructure as it is right now?
Imagine it. It's not as great as it could be, but you want to make it better. Come on. This is you.
It's your
You
world!
have to-
You're creative, Dylan. You can do it.
You don't know me at all, do you?
Just, come on, the more you whine, the more nothing happens.
I'm trying to go dig into something this. They're going to find something. They're going to build it off of it.
If you had money, what would you want to make? And how could you spend it to where you could help people with it?
You fucking horrible people, I swear.
Mainly me.
Oh.
No,
Okay,
it's literally the
let's
name of the
fucking go
game.
with I know where you live, Matt.
I don't care.
I swear. Okay then, so. This is going to fail horribly. Thank you all
Nope.
for this. But,
You're fine.
sure, let's go with it. No, I'm not. Now then. Well, I believe that we should go and use the excess profit, the larger profits, to go and build up the infrastructure of our lands. And have better roads and the like. For better travel, better and safer travel between our lands. Increased trade, maybe, between our countries, yes?
But why
Oh.
would we want to trade with you? What do you have that we want?
Why are you doing this to me?
That was a
The
kill
I
game,
don't
shot,
know
man.
anything
Max.
about these countries. I don't barely even know the name.
None of us know any more than you do. Come on.
I must say,
Okay, I'm a dwarf. Okay, let's see.
I must say to interject, the whole just making roads safer to travel and everything is a quite lofty aspiration. It was quite the trek to get here. Probably a little bit easier due to whatever nature, but I'd imagine the regular peasants would have a rough time traveling large distances such as these.
Better roads
So-
would be very helpful, but at the same time, I cannot recommend increasing taxation upon Galadrius. It's honestly more of a country than a colony at this rate, and I believe it should be treated as such.
I do also wish to interject a bit. The people there, you propose raising their taxes. Can they afford this? Because bankrupting a city,
Oh no,
well, in the
they
short run, may
they
help
absolutely
us, but
can afford it, but if we treat them like a colony the entire time and not as an equal, then they will never... We are forcibly stalling their progression. They've been doing very well
It
over
also
there.
sentiments you
And
very
they may
unhappy
re-
with their treatment that way.
And they may rebel, you say? Possibly?
Doubt that would work well, but they might. Doubtful though.
Eric, do we know any of the stories from Galadrius?
Yeah. But you also know that there are significantly more from the mainland.
Okay.
What did you say? What comparison was? What did you say? What? Something way back Greece or something versus Nazi Germany.
What?
Not very fair.
What?
What?
Strength wise, get rolled over.
What? Dylan, let's not try to make real world comparisons right now.
It's given. It was this. This was a comparison given to me.
The mainland is strong.
regardless.
Very strong.
Fair.
Yes.
Fair. Point taken.
Anyway.
Whereas,
Yes.
go ahead.
No, just go ahead. I was just gonna try and move us along.
So was I.
So,
Yes.
wait, is the taxation just for his kingdom, or is it for my kingdom too?
His proposal would benefit everyone. Like, all countries would receive a share.
Everyone.
Yes, all countries would receive their own share of it, and it would increase the mainland overall.
So,
That's why I refer. Yes.
You all have something to gain from his proposal.
so Hendrik, you're against the taxing of this much smaller and weaker state, right?
As annoying as some of our things currently are, yes, I do not believe it would be wise. Simply because we can make do with what we have, and they are still trying to build things over there.
I see.
I have a thought you made me consider. You say treat them more like a country for these debates and talks. Would it be better to have a representative from them, you think, at some point for taxation purposes in the future?
Well, that is what another thing that I wanted to call upon. I can't help but notice that there's no members from the actual coalition here, which is the above game knowledge. That's the governing body of the continent over there. I believe that in the future, whenever there's a calling like this, we should include them in the board, treat them as a country. But there's a lot of traditionalists that want to continue to profit off of it. Which, yes, that would allow us to have many things, but
They only have.
But at
the
what cost,
one
of course.
city,
Exactly.
correct?
they only have the 2 proper cities, I believe, is what I heard last I checked. Maybe 3-ish? I don't know.
3.
I heard 2 and 3 in developing myself.
That's not very much development to be considered in formal debates such as these, in my personal opinion, but I can see the merits of such a...
In the future, that might be true, but as of now, they're still rather small, aren't they?
Yes.
Perhaps once they've grown a bit
There's
more.
also, we are fairly distant from all of them, I do believe, so we don't have quite the understanding of what goes on as well. We have secondhand knowledge. Or third or fourth, depending on how it travels.
And as you say, they're quite distant, so them traveling here would take an immensely long period of time, and getting messages to them would be annoying.
Well, unless we were to outfit them with some of the Attican tools that they have and won't share with people.
Ah,
Well,
We are all aware
I
of
can't
your
say I'd be terribly
teleportation.
opposed to discussing this with them to try and involve the coalition itself more in this.
Well,
Wait,
even
I'm
without,
a bit disappointed I had not considered that before today.
even without the coalition, there been many attempts in the past to get you humans to divulge your skyships and teleporting things, but none of them have been met with success, almost as though you wish to hold it above the rest of us.
A good note for it is it's all very experimental. We do not wish to trade unfinished or possibly unpredictable. After all, if something goes wrong, it falls on our heads for developing it in the first place.
Well, this is a meeting
You
of...
could share your research with us, and we could make it better.
Precisely, and since this is a meeting of various diplomats from somewhere, and we are in the power to start making some changes amongst our continent, I believe that we should, look into that.
Add a game question real quick. How much say do I have? Like, how much does what I say carry weight?
The answer
For
is
this.
no. They will not agree. Period.
That's what I was figuring, but I wanted to make sure before I said anything. Well, that's something to consider quite well.
She's gonna put her hands on the table and like a little fist, and she's going to look at him, and she's gonna be like, "So, human, what do you expect to do with these weapons of yours?"
Wait. Eric, question. I thought we were just getting skyships and teleportation, right?
Yes.
From the Sea of Stars.
Shush.
something that could be weaponized, but it's not been As it's
We
brought
Remain
up.
on the
Oh,
forefront,
know what
my
that
lady.
is.
What are we doing
Yeah,
again?
you assume. But,
I
my lady, as you have asked, none of them on the front are weaponry. They are transportation.
to give you a quick recap, Max or Hope. Sorry, my brain. I read things. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Dylan's character was talking about the taxation thing. I turned the subject from that over to Attica's
Well, no,
advancement.
I know that, but like,
But then what's your question?
where the fuck are we again? What
You're in-
room are we in?
You're in the dining hall.
Okay. Shut up, James.
Okay. Repeat your last thing, Matt. I think you talked last.
Oh, yeah, Chinherna goes, in all forefront, we have been exploring in transportation mainly.
To go where?
Well, quite possibly many places. You don't make a singular transportation method. Making it more universal would be much more profitable.
But have you thought about the fact that maybe Belanu does not want contact with the outside world, and we just want to be left alone?
Well, like I said, it's very much an open-ended transportation. It does not necessarily have to end there.
I believe we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We should try to remain calm. This isn't.
A bit off the topic.
It
Well,
is.
Oh, I apologize. I get quite excited. I do love a good talk.
Countries were not built on calm.
Nor were they.
That's,
But
They
calm
were.
does tend to
Ah.
keep them in sustenance, rather than going to war and falling.
At any rate,
But we are here to talk about the taxes on this point.
Master of the House, you were saying something?
I,
Oh no.
what? What'd you
You're
say?
the Master of the House.
No, I
You
mean,
were saying something.
I thought that either Hope or Max said something.
Oh no, I
Can't tell
just.
us- You can't tell us apart, Dylan?
All I
Apparently
heard was a
you were
feminine
generic.
voice saying something. No, I cannot tell you apart.
But to be fair, I was on Hope's Discord
Sexist.
thing, and for some reason her name on there starts with an M. And then my brain went, okay, wires crossed. Wait, what?
I mean, you said Matt, Max, then Hope.
Yeah,
So.
M.
Yep.
Wait, wrong.
Anyway,
Num 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 num.
so I believe that we should go and increase taxes on Gladris in order to build the infrastructure of our fine countries. This is the roads to increase the safety of them. And quick question: what are the state of the roads right now? I mean, are they dirt, cobblestone, asphalt? What?
There's some stone in rare spots, mainly in town.
So it's mostly dirt then.
For the most part.
Great dirt.
Trying to cobblestone very large distances would be nigh impossible.
Yes,
out
but
of
there's also ways. Yeah, I know. But there's also ways you can. Oh, there's an in between. I can't remember what the hell it is though.
Clay.
Clay?
Clay is the in-between.
Bricks.
Brick is even more expensive than cobblestone.
Yeah.
I thought I heard grit, not brick. I'm sorry. James, stop face bombing!
Gravel be any better? Cheaper, I mean.
Gravel's gravel. Gravel works. Clay and gravel are about the same, in my opinion.
Expensive wise or
Yeah,
Default-wise.
expense-wise, yes.
So gravel might work then for that argument.
I mean, yeah.
Yes. But yes. Anyway, okay. So as it stands now, most of our roads are just dirt roads, yes? And those go in, well, dirt becomes mud rather easily. And carts, we're going to get the wheels stuck in ruts.
Most of the small
Oh,
folk
really,
cannot
Gertie?
travel between country to country.
Yes. So I propose that we go and use the tax money to go and better the roads.
Now, I must say, I do see your point with the roads. People traveling for off merchants like ups and immerse and all that. But
Yes.
have you considered how much putting them down, maintenance in the future? Considering would this be a something we're sinking an inordinate amount of money into, and then just overall not getting a return equal.
Well, on one hand, we have the roads as they are now. We can leave them be. And as they're going to just gradually get trampled away, and, well, dirt turns to mud, going to have the cars going through, leaving wheel tracks and everything, and have them just be in a frightful state of repair. Not very well, and make it hard for travelers trying to go through. That includes the more official type instead of just the small folk. But on the other hand, if we go and improve the roads, well then, that opens up possibility of trade between the small folk, between the countries, yes?
Well,
But what do you have to offer?
I'm sure the dwarves have their own merits. We halflings have our naturalistic supplements and things, and you elves have your whatever it is you have, and humans with their technology, and we all have our own merits. We don't need to get into the aspect of it all. It's more of betterment of all of us that we're talking about. And whereas the roads being upgraded is nice, and travel distances are hard to fathom sometimes, it's yeah.
Talking to me.
I'm talking overarchingly.
I didn't hear a single word of that as my Discord just fucked up for me again.
Whenever it blinks out like that, quickly leave and rejoin.
I didn't notice. I was on
Yeah.
a roll. I was monologuing
Oh,
fucking plans, and then it just like
did
I
that?
mean, did
Exactly
that?
that?
Yeah. Exactly that.
Come on, stop kicking Dylan out. He hasn't gotten to be on a
He's the
Tabletalker
one
thing
who
yet.
needs to be.
He really needs this.
He's the one we need here the most right now.
God damn it!
Hi.
This thing hates me! I swear!
It seems to.
Does Discord need an update?
It did update me right before he started.
Okay.
That might be why.
Again, if you notice it happening, try leaving and rejoining quick.
I would, but
I do wish
Nice to notice it.
bring up a point.
And whenever
though.
he's
I've
talking,
noticed
he
it.
can't. Exactly. Go, Matt.
I don't even know where we are at this point.
Lyndon, I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Was proposing just explaining the roads a bit.
I was
But I
gonna...
do wish to bring up the point. What if that increased banditry across it? Now that they have a solid route to target.
Well, then you can increase the number of guard patrols going through there.
Well, we can't always patrol long distances such as that. But
And where will you get the funding for that? More taxes?
Well, no. On the other hand, we could just go and have adventurers go about.
Adventurers, as much as I admire the folk, can be a bit tad random, don't you think?
and
And they
unreliable
also
at
cost
times.
money.
Yes, but the money could be put up by the cities around there rather than just the countries instead.
The city's full from the country.
Well, people also can benefit that, but again, immaterial. As I was going to say, oh,
What?
He left.
I know.
Good job.
He's back.
Poor Dylan.
Hello?
Hi. You back?
I can't hear nothing.
Hello?
Hello?
There we go again. Okay, I can hear.
Hello.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
As I was going to say, the roads being upgraded is nice and all, but it's not entirely necessary. The road infrastructure is a difficult thing to upgrade, as we are now, with the banditry and whatever else going on. But upgrading ourselves from possible threats from outside sources and everything else would possibly be better. Upgrading city defenses, being able to hire more guards to defend said cities, and so on and so forth, such as that.
If you believe that is the correct way to go about it, then perhaps we should.
That is, if we even agree on taxing these people more.
Indeed. Do you have any other
I'm
point
just-
of view?
I'm just confused of why we were all gathered here in the first place.
Why, to discuss the taxes, it seems.
Indeed.
We cannot do such a thing without representation from everyone here, can we?
Is it my people that are going to be taxed for this road?
It would be the Galadrians over across the
No.
sea.
From what I understand, there's a little bit of all of us over there.
Yes, it's ruled by that
They would-
coalition of theirs.
It would be the colony itself that's taxed, and then our homelands would be gaining benefits from tax income.
And we would not want to go and do something such as increasing taxes without having a representation from the entire group coalition. What's the official name of us again?
Yes,
The
we're not
coalition?
technically that, but they are ruled by the coalition, which is made out of people from all of the places.
Yes,
All the representing countries. How's
Yeah.
that?
representation from all the representing countries. Yes. So we would
But we
indeed
have
need to.
not
Yeah.
asked the citizens what they want the money to go to, if they even want to be taxed. Have we even asked them if they want to grow? Maybe they just want to
We
stay
aren't
the
a
same.
democracy. As far as I'm aware, we aren't a democracy, are we, Eric?
Every area has its own ruling family, so not particularly. And
So
the
the-
only thing that you guys are really like banded together on is the coalition. Everything else, though, everybody's separate.
We aren't for the people. I'm sorry.
But the thing is, if you are not for the people will rise against you and take you down.
Except for the fact that we're the ones with the armies who are loyal to us. We have nobles who are going to raise the armies and such on and so forth. Unless you've decided to just kind of, I don't know, have a revolution or something.
Yes, I am
In which
aware.
case-
Well,
I'm
That would
aware.
not
It's
be
been
very nice.
known.
I'm just staring at her. I'm blinking.
and she's staring at him, unblinking. Well, it's been known throughout history that taxing people causes them to get angry and will cause a revolution. Do you want a revolution on your hands?
To be
As it stands for it, you're the one who are going on and on about revolution, not I.
to be frank, I'd prefer to stay neutral in all of this, but to be frank, them rising up would not be a concern of ours. They would merely get crushed underfoot from everything I've heard of them.
Well, their military is only the military of all of our areas, and what we just happen to send that way. They don't have a proper way to defend themselves. They are, as it stands, part of all of our countries. So increasing their taxes is something you can absolutely get away with. I, however, am vouching that we actually stop sending as many resources to them and let them build things as is. We don't necessarily have to supply their own because now they have a class of people that have been born over there now.
And that would be
Yes.
less funds spent on them, more funds back to us, nearly to the same effect of taxing, honestly.
On the other
And they
hand,
make their
though,
own decisions.
they only have what, 2, maybe 3 cities as it stands.
Their cities are small.
I do not believe that that is enough for them to stand on their own. Hence why they are still a colony, not a country in their own right.
Aye.
And
But have you given them the chance?
Well,
They have 3 cities, maybe 2.
basically,
That doesn't mean anything. They're still very
Yes, it
young and they
does.
could grow very fast.
Exactly why they still need our support, and thus are still a colony.
from what I can see, we're not really talking about the taxation of Galadrius as much as we are talking about its ability to let it be its own city-state, as compared to being a residual from all of ours. I
did want
believe
to
that
propose
allowing
the
them
fact-
to have their own city-state thing with less resources from all of us would allow them to grow in their own way and trade with whomever it is that they wanted.
and save us money in the long run.
Except
Well-
as it stands, they're still rather small, and at this point, without the extra resources going in,
If I may say,
they may just go and
if I may say something to
fizzle
your
out.
If I may say something to your credit, Lord Tom, if we allow them to
It's
choose
stop
whom they
working
trade
again.
with, it's working, Dylan. Unless you can't hear me. Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
Dylan.
Dylan.
Okay, I'm back now.
Hi.
We could hear you a second ago when you left.
Well, I actually couldn't hear you guys then.
Something's-
Fair.
Going wonky somewhere and it's weird. That was a thing.
Did
Okay.
you try to use the microphone before you let it download its installed thing? Or is it
Sure.
just a
Well, he just had to go buy the microphone
I
before.
just had to buy it.
So
okay?
no.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out all kinds of fucking possibilities on that thing. as to
Ah,
why
So
just-
did you hear the last thing I heard? I said then something about that they
Yeah,
might
we
just
heard
go
you all the way
fizzle
up
out?
till you left.
Yeah.
Okay.
To say to your point, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I had it and it disappeared because you left the fucking.
I do
That's
have a bit of a point to raise.
Yeah, I
You
know.
were
Strangely
all
affecting.
arguing about taxation and revolution and the such. Revolution, in
course.
my bit from taxation, comes when you are unreasonable with it all. If you are not increasing it to a ludicrous amount or a rather high steeping effect,
You were
they might grumble and complain some, but they tend to not have much problem with it overall.
Eric. You were saying
Because
stuff
even
about
a
trading.
small
Okay,
little
thank you.
bit would go a long way in the long run.
Okay, quick question, Eric. Is this going to be a big tax raise or little, or how much is that?
It would only be maybe about 10%.
That's actually rather large, Eric. Are you
Rather,
sure about that number?
but if you're going to continue
why we're
treating
here.
them as a colony, then they will continue to gather. Then the more things that they send back to the mainland, the better the stuff that they're going to be getting back from the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure about the 10% though? I mean, that is rather large.
They can afford it. They are bringing in buckets of money daily. They are
Yeah,
incredibly prosperous over there right now.
Yes,
At
we
any
wouldn't want to go and interfere. Oh, fuck it. Yes?
You were saying stuff about trading and whatnot, and to the Lord's credit, to Lord Tom's credit.
Yeah, I know, but we're going on another thing here.
Okay.
Sorry, I just don't want to leave it empty with nobody going.
As a
Sorry
as a
about the keyboard.
petitioner again for neutrality, I must say I'm beginning to agree more and more. Well, I'm not really agreeing with anyone. The point is made of taxing it, which makes sense. It would increase our benefit, but the point is also made that it's better to leave it alone and let it do its own thing and take our stuff away from it, which would benefit us and give us more money, make us more money. We wouldn't have to send as many resources over there, but in the same turn, we wouldn't be getting as much resources from them. And it's all a bunch of weirdness. I petition to just leave them alone.
You positioned to go and do neither of our things, yes?
No,
Do neither increase taxes nor,
take away everything we're giving them and let them let them deal with it on their own. If they fail, then they fail. If they don't, then they don't.
so you
What?
position. What?
Did you almost say let them suffer?
Yes, he did say that.
But at the same time, we'd be losing a bit on our own. They've been raking in quite the sum of gold and resources sending to us. So let us look at the comparison. Do we have more to gain by them coming in or the taxation? Because personally, I do believe we have more to profit from letting it continue to flow as is, at least on the resource side.
Eric,
They are,
Go on.
they
what's
are
your view on that?
Go ahead, sorry.
Do you have any numbers for that, Eric?
What was the question?
I was
Uh,
pointing out that we're getting a rather hefty sum from them right now in both resources and gold.
Yes.
So withdrawing ours and not receiving from them might outweigh and not actually be beneficial in the long run.
I've killed my pen. Wonderful.
So what's my exact question?
I think he was asking the
Do
numbers.
you have any numbers for either way?
Not specifically, but basically they're in a golden age.
vaguely.
They're in a golden era. They're prospering quite a lot.
So if you can take advantage of more of that prospering, it'd be a good thing, and then you can lower them whenever they go into a bad time if you so want.
I must say, the representative from Raktesh over there hasn't said much. What are your thoughts on all this?
She's not there.
Oh. Sorry.
Actually, wait.
From-
Oh, I must
What?
say,
What?
out of character real quick. If we get dropped out of the call, it's because the power got cut off, because there's a big storm going over our head right now.
Fun.
Yep.
Wrong. I looked at the wrong message. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, they're standing back over there.
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Nothing is not important.
Very well.
Urgh.
Anyway, yeah.
Is the Raktesh in the same room as us?
Yes,
Okay.
but you forgot
Then
her
they
name
have-
because you're an asshole.
No, I didn't forget her name. I'm saying this for a reason. Anyway,
Then the orc.
the orc. Fine. And
Diagram.
then the halfling is bringing up the point that they have not said anything during this entire
Deliberation.
deliberation and what their thoughts are.
To be
Quite a bit.
honest, I have no opinion. I was just sent here, and I'm here to listen, and if I have any ideas, I will contribute. But more money would be nice, I guess. I don't know.
Indeed.
So, as I hear it, we have 2 neutrals, 2 against, 1 possible, and then me 4. Yes?
I am
Not quite
against
sure how
raising
you've
the
gotten to that.
taxes.
None of them have. I don't believe any of us have quite agreed or disagreed with the point you brought up.
I'm open to change my mind. It's just at current moments we gain more from ending. We personally would probably gain more from ending supply lines and giving them our troops and all these other things,
You're
and
all
allowing them to prosper on their own.
you're all vaguely aware that Kingograd is very proficient in merchant craft. So you all kind of have an idea in the back of your mind that if you were to cut that off, then
They would win.
they would have a
No.
huge influx.
Fan. So, huge advantage then, yes?
They would try to monopolize it.
Yes.
Ah.
Eric had a
But-
knock on this door.
It's the
But-
night of interruptions again.
But at the same time, I will state that I'm again for the more neutral route of just leaving them alone and let them do their own thing. But at the same time, I do know that the one who would gain the most from trade would be the gnomish cities.
Let the weak die.
Well, as much as that may help most times, Lady Sugar, I do believe letting the weak die is quite the opposite of a society that will cause most of them to fall.
Dylan is also not here.
Oop.
Ah,
Technical difficulties!
It's just the name of the game.
yeah.
I boosted the server for this fucking reason. I thought it would fix.
I think it's just
Apparently
Dylan's
not.
phone.
He's not on his phone anymore. He's on his laptop.
If it's the same laptop I've seen him have, that would make more sense.
Get back in the
Oh,
car,
boy.
man!
Oh?
Hey again.
Okay.
Ah. Stuff do not
I
like
am
you.
not typing Discord. Do not say that. Fuck you. Squeaky chair.
Ah.
Falling ship.
Are you okay over there?
You good?
I could have done
Eric.
that had you asked.
Oh.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
Had to move the chair.
Okay.
I
That you're neutral.
Yes. Did you hear what I said, both Dylan and Eric?
What was your question?
No.
I didn't ask a question. I said that whereas I am neutral in letting them be them and letting them do their own thing and leaving them alone, the one who would benefit the most is the gnomish cities, as you benefit the most from trade.
Yes, I heard everything except for the qualifier. But, and afterwards. But I got it now? Okay. Yes, that was very true. If we were to cut them off, as you put it, then Kingograd would have the most to gain from that.
Well, I have to assume that you all would oppose that. So then, in that case, I propose that we leave it as is and allow things to develop as they have been.
Yes. Now, I would say that as it stands, with how prosperous they are as of now, that they could easily take higher taxes with little troubles to them, and still be able to prosper.
Whereas money for money's sake is good. It's a question of what do we do with the influx of money. As
Well-
influx of money is influx in bandits, and influx in trouble, and influx in, well, pretty much everything else.
With the influx of bandits will only happen if we cannot keep good enough control upon our countries. And there are ways to go and deal with that if we do decide to do this. And just as if we need to decide what to do with the extra money that will come in, that is meaningless if we do not make any decision for which to do increase the taxes. For we could argue that I would prefer to better the roads and infrastructure, and you would prefer to increase the defenses of our cities.
I wish to point out that in the end, each of us gets our own piece of these taxes.
Indeed.
So what each one does is up to them.
Yes.
Quite true. So we could each go and do as we believe would be better for our own countries. In which case we would only need to agree to increase the taxes.
Hmm.
And we can use
And
the
how
I do wish to
exactly are
propose
you
the question,
worded?
what does,
Go
if
ahead.
it's not too forward of me, what would everybody prefer to do with the tax money if they do have it? Is there any solidified, unified cause we could all work towards with this? Or would it be down to each country to work on their own separate individual projects?
From
Well,
what I
as soon as your people decide that it's okay to trade with us with all your technological advances and whatnot, then we could all benefit each other.
Yes, but that is also not the matter at hand, now is it?
But you were saying something,
This is the matter at hand because it is talking about
Mr.
the
Hendrick?
use of the
No,
taxations.
I was referring to Lyndon's not so subtle jab at the humans not sharing their technology with us. But yes,
Well, advancement is advancement.
Well, I had something until they
Indeed.
mentioned Attica's huge rash of unmonitored, unstopped technological stuff that they refuse to share. Which, now that we've brought it back to it, we should really agree upon something to watch that.
yes, but I doubt that they have the authority for which to agree to anything for that.
This is a meeting of
That's true,
delegates
right.
from every country. If we decide to propose something, they should have to abide by it in some capacity. As it stands now, though, they have reckless abandon.
Indeed, they do.
And I don't know about any of you, but
What
I
would
do
you
not want
propose?
their fleet to suddenly appear overhead and begin dropping fire upon all the lands.
That would be most.
No, that's exactly what I'm
distressing.
thinking.
What would
I
you
wish to point out that
propose?
would be very poor benefit to any of us involved because all that would do is spark a war that would
weaken us
Probably
all.
unify everyone against one of us, and that would not go down at all.
I would
But the
like,
humans outnumber us.
I would also like to say something real quick. Max, the city state or little colony thing that we're planning on, or that we were talking about taxing,
We went
is-
one of us.
is
So,
a
that's
long way
us.
away from mainland.
Yeah.
If you didn't already know, it's not a part of that. So they would have to assault us with ships.
I would like to point out that almost everyone outnumbers the elves.
Ooh,
You all live much longer lives, but at the same time, you
Lower birth
reproduce
rate.
at a slower rate.
We don't
I'm
like
much
children.
lower rate.
At the same time, many of us live much shorter lives, therefore there need to be more of us to make any kind of progress.
Indeed.
Well, you
That sounds
humans,
more like a human problem.
you humans propagate more so than any, or pretty much any other race, aside from
We live the
maybe the
shortest.
orcs.
Now, moving back to the
Eh,
subject
We
of
also breed
taxes.
the fastest.
As you all have been sitting here talking with each other about taxes for about an hour in actual time,
Yeah.
a chef comes out of the kitchen and kind of does a quick clap to make it to where you know that they are done with the food and are able to carry it out should you wish it.
Ah,
Yes.
seems the food is ready. Shall we?
I,
take
for
a
one,
recess
look
on this?
quite a bit forward to this food.
Then shall we take a quick recess on this and get back to it later?
Yes, we can continue this after we eat. Shall we get on with it then?
Gonna pat his belly and be like, a good hearty meal would always be welcome.
I gestured for them to bring out the food.
All right. A whole bunch of dwarven chefs get a whole bunch of platters of stuff and start bringing it out to the table. Looking around, it seems that there's actually they tried to make a variant of some dish from home, as it were. So you can tell whose food is supposed to be where, because the one for the orcish stuff looks more like orc-based,
Orc food?
like meat on bone kind of stuff, and various things like that.
Elves is just lettuce.
It's just 3 leaves in a line.
Yes.
But it seems that
I
everybody
was
has
actually thinking that, but that's fine.
seems that everybody has a main course, an appetizer thing, and a little dessert at the end.
I must say,
dessert
Lord
is
Tom, my
photos
compliments
synthesis.
to your chef.
Yes, that was a rather filling meal.
You haven't eaten it yet.
It is.
Haven't eaten it yet.
Yes,
No,
I
but it
heard-
looks quite
brain.
delicious.
Yes,
Let's
thank
eat.
you.
ooh,
My brain decided to delete words and then replace them with other words.
Everyone sits
Thanks,
down
Greg.
and eats things.
Yes.
I'm not
With
going to eat.
gusto!
I'm not going to
The
eat.
Bella, the elf.
I'm not
Why?
going to eat yet.
All right.
Why?
You're
that
not-
was just
you-
me saying. I'm not talking.
Does the food
I'm just
displease
not
you?
eating it.
Well, he'd notice you not eating. Everybody else is sitting down. And
Well, fair. No, I'm just not hungry.
Anyway. Hmm.
everyone else eats all their everything.
Yes.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
How many of us die?
Can I look around and examine everyone's food, just a quick glance?
Quickly glancing over, everything seems
Half of us are
okay.
now dead.
Does my leaves seem okay?
Are
Can I
you going
smell
to?
them?
You're going to check your food for poison?
Well, I'm kind of a bitch, so yeah.
Yes.
Roll a d6.
Yes.
4.
4?
4.
It's the most poisonous food you've ever seen. And I'm down again. Fuck.
No, you're not.
No, you're here.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Here.
Okay.
You're good.
We're just waiting on Eric because he gets to tell us the outcome of the roll.
Actually, no.
No?
No?
He's typing it.
Ah,
Because that one wasn't
well,
a
he still has
special
to
item.
inform people of the outcome.
So, something's wrong. There, Max. Specifically with your
Something's
dessert.
wrong. Oh. Then I will eat everything, but I will just push my dessert up a little bit and just say I'm full.
Is there something wrong with the dessert?
No, I'm just full. Tiny stomach, you know. Try not to eat too much. Don't want to indulge myself like others.
Is that an insult? If it is, it's a rather poor one.
Tom, you're sitting
Very
there with
well,
like
then.
5 plates.
I feel attacked.
You're lost.
Hmm.
To be fair, my guy definitely looks like he indulges himself. Like I said, he's rather portly looking.
You Horace Slugworth.
But okay then. Where'd the name go? Nashala doesn't eat anything, or well, her dessert, and everybody else eats all their things, and everyone seems fine. It was a well-prepared meal.
Where with your cat?
Very good food. Compliments.
Indeed. Oh, then.
I might have
Shall we
to
get
see
on?
by requisitioning a bit of carry-on for food on the way back. Good there, Lord Tom. Your chefs do quite a wonderful job.
I'm sure they might be able to oblige you.
With Recompt, of course.
Yeah, of course, of course. Shall we get on with it then?
Hmm.
Is
Oh, I
everyone done
do
eating,
see
Eric?
two alternate methods here of continuing on with the talks or letting everybody sleep on it, as it were.
I have always found that continuing a heated discussion directly after eating causes an upset stomach throughout the night and a restless night.
Traveling
So I
was
suggest-
quite difficult. I'm inclined to agree with him. If we can all retire to our rooms for the night, and begin this in the morning.
Very well then. I shall have servants see you to your rooms. Gesture to servants gesture into their rooms or anything. I hope you all have a good night then.
Everybody retires to their rooms. If anybody wants to do something during the night, inform me. Or just do it.
The dwarf lord ends up dead in the morning.
Maybe.
And then there's a
At
murder
one point,
mystery. Who
at
did
some
it?
point in the night, I do wish to walk up and probably knock on Lady Nishala's door.
Hmm.
She's just going to, is there a peephole?
There is not.
Who is it?
Just myself, Lady Nishala. Horace, as you met earlier.
She's going to, like, is there a lock on the door that she could, like, kind of open it without him being able to get in?
There's no little chain, but there is a lock on the door.
So
Yeah,
there's
just
no
lock
little
the door.
chain?
Basically, the door's shut and locked, I think, or it's open a little bit.
Aw.
Put a knife in his face. I'm
She's-
sorry, that was wrong. What? No.
She's going to hold her cane in her hand, and she's going to slowly open the door, just like a pinch. And she's going to look at him through the crack in the door and be like, "What do you want?"
Pardon for the interruption in the evening. I just wish to clear up. I believe we got off on the wrong foot. You
What
seem
do you
rather, you seemed rather aggravated at us in my home country
Hostile?
for our developments and potentials of it. We do not mean to invade your privacy, as you earlier suggested. And I meant no insults by the comments on everybody's procreation rates and the like. It was just merely pointing out the facts.
It seemed like an insult.
If you
It's
say
not
it like
really
that,
like
you made quite a few insults towards myself, dear lady. I just wish to clear it up and try to start possibly on fresh foot tomorrow in more neutral terms.
Let's just put it like this.
Art classic, it does that.
Boy, when you live as long as I do, you get to see how the world changes. But humans, they typically stay the same. Their technology changes, but they always stay the same.
I would argue the opposite, lady. You see, you tend to age and don't age, and the world changes around you, and you sit in your cities. And you continue on, but the rest of us have to change. Yes, we live quite short lives, but in those short lives, we have to make the most of every moment of it. We have to learn what you all learn in such a smaller time. Who's gone? Is it me or Max?
I don't think anyone.
No one.
Max.
Max.
Damn it.
Max is gone.
Well, at least she
at
heard
least
your
what
words.
she heard what I said because she's in the living room, but
You live at the same place. She can hear you.
yeah.
Nope.
Squeaky door.
It is squeaky.
Squeaky door, squeaky.
I'm back.
Hello.
And as I said, whereas you all have time and time to continue to grow, we don't. We struggle in a short time to make what little change we can.
But do you do change for the better of the world, or do you do change for the better of you?
Time will tell. We never know what will better the world and what will not. We can only hope that we are bettering the world as we live in it. But I can say change must be had, or we stagnate and fall behind and lose.
So
Everyone
far,
does.
all I've seen of your change is burning down the forest, tearing down our ecosystems, and destroying our animals.
Someone has
Would you
views.
condemn the rest of the world to nothingness like that?
As long as it would save nature, I would.
Then you condemn yourselves in the same process.
That's fine, that's just one elf's belief. What do you matter what I believe?
Oh, she's unmuted.
We are all here to try to come to agreement that means everyone's beliefs matter in this opinion.
But not my belief on this. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Or what we are here to discuss.
I find one's core beliefs have everything to do with what they talk about.
But how do you know I'm telling the truth? How do you know anyone here is telling the truth?
You parse it out as you go and hope you're right. You can't have any. Having guaranteed truth is very rarely a luxury that people earn.
Well, I like to believe that everyone is lying until it's proven otherwise.
Sorry you have such a view on life.
I've lived way too long, my dear sir.
And you complain about us not changing. And he'll walk away.
It's just me. I don't know why you look at me like that.
Person.
That's all he wanted to do for the night, was try to do that, and well, I guess that didn't work out well.
Okay. Anybody else have something that they want to?
Do I have a coffee
active-
pot or anything in my room?
You have a thing of water.
I don't have any coffee.
No.
No coffee.
Do I have like a potion that will give me some energy? An Adderall?
I'll let you have a little,
And
like,
I must say,
thing of
Adderall
coffee.
is not for energy. I
Sure.
must say, Adderall is not for energy at all.
It depends on who's using it.
I'm so glad I fucking put down my drink before you said that, because I would have fucking died.
I'll let you have a little, like, budget container of coffee stuff to make your water into caffeinated bean juice.
Okay,
Dirty bean
so
water.
I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm going to sit by the door and I'm going to use my elf ears to just listen. And I want to make
Wait.
sure that nobody's
Hey,
leaving
hey,
the
hey.
room.
Hold on. Hey, don't the elves only need like 2 hours of like
4.
sleep?
4 hours of
They
meditation.
don't sleep, they meditate.
But it puts him in a sleep-like state, so it's effectively the same.
Yeah, but it's 4 instead of 8 hours.
Are you going to forego a rest to do this, or are you going to try to wait until you're convinced nothing's happening and then?
I'm not gonna sleep. I don't trust these people. I'm not gonna let them leave their room without me knowing.
Okay.
You have what level? Suffer from a level of exhaustion.
Duly noted. Roll a d6.
4.
This isn't normal D&D, Dylan.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
She should.
Normally she would take, what, disadvantage
Give me just a
on
moment.
literally everything.
Don't worry about it, Rush, babe.
Okay, during the night, you
Uh,
hear someone else's door open and close.
I wish to go investigate.
What the fuck?
Looking outside, you find that all the doors are closed.
Can I go to each door and kind of listen in to see if I hear like snoring or something or people walking around in there?
Not
Okay.
everybody snores.
Well,
That's
Well,
I have
some
reason.
might.
I have reason to believe most people would be asleep right now. So, the one who isn't, roll me a d6. Max, you roll me a d6.
Me roll d6?
Yeah.
A 2.
Well, you hear someone stub their toe on a dresser, and it seems to be coming from the Salakin Diplomat's room.
The who?
James's character, Leland.
Okay.
Lindsay's.
So she's going to walk over there. She's still holding her cane. Just assume she always has her cane on her because
Yes.
she doesn't win. Okay, so she's going to. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't look at
You're
me
right
like
here in front of me.
You're not allowed to look at me. She's going to knock on the door and she's going to be like, "Are you okay in there? I've heard some ruckus."
Yes, I'm fine. Just stubbed my toe a little bit. It kind of hurt. You know, midnight bathroom break and all that. A lot of food intake.
I was going to say it's awfully late and you need a lot of sleep.
Yes, I was just planning on getting back to sleep. Again, bathroom break and all that. My toe hurts.
Do you need a bandage?
No, I'll be fine. Appreciate the sentiment, though.
Oh lord.
She'll accept that answer and she will go back and sit by her door.
Okay. You continue to have your restless night. Unless you can manage to find some sleep throughout the day, you will take a -1 to your die rolls.
So she just has to meditate for 4 hours?
Basically, yeah.
Can she do like a meditation where she can still hear?
Not
Or
really.
is that not a thing?
No. The point of sleep is that you really can't.
You enter a sleep-like trance, so it's still technically sleep. It's just half the time required.
Now I'm gonna. I want to assume that she runs out of bean juice, and she just falls asleep next to the door.
Okay, that's fine. They'll just wake you up late.
Okay.
Next day rolls around.
I would like to wake up fairly early. Just, you know how the sun rises, people go out and just go out for a walk.
Okay, do you want to do so in the courtyard? In the back of the castle? Or like...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It seemed quite lovely the previous day.
John, what's your courtyard like? Courtyard like...
Say what?
I asked Tom what his courtyard was like.
Oh.
Dylan is muted.
Is working? Yes,
Hi.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, based on the picture, I'm going to be going off of. It looks like there's just courtyard with, I don't know. I guess a few trees or something. A little shrubbery, some grass or something.
It sounds like
In the
he's
very
had
middle.
people build his courtyard for him.
I did.
So, there's a somewhat random assortment of various plants and stuff to look at.
Just have to
There
make
are
it look
flowers.
good. There.
Little pathways, places to sit, all that stuff.
Little pathways and the way. That sounds actually rather pleasant.
It's not a military base. It can be decorative.
Since you specifically wanted to rise early, you do hear people kind of walking around and preparing breakfast over in a nearby area of the castle.
I want to stop in the kitchen
Okay.
on my way back in. It's probably, I don't know, probably we spent maybe about an hour walking around enjoying the outside. Just walk into the kitchen and probably find one of the maid, chef, get somebody a hand and be like, "Do you mind if I get a bit of a light snack? I had quite the early morning."
They seem to be preparing a hearty dwarven breakfast, and they find a nearby biscuit and just hand you it.
Ah, thank you, my good chap.
Wait,
Magnificent.
question. Did they give him battle bread?
I don't know what that is.
You do- great sadness. Oh, fuck,
Ow.
where's that from?
But some
Very long
additional time
story.
passes,
Discworld.
unless somebody
Discworld.
else has something else to do.
Hold on.
I will.
When do I wake up?
Later than everyone
What
else.
do you-
Okay, that's
Fuck.
I would say I would like to fold the biscuit up in a small napkin or paper and just set it in one side of one of his coat pockets.
now you're starting
After
to
he-
sound like Sorsha.
Just a moment.
After he left the kitchen, so
Something's
he was
happening.
out of sight of
Just a moment. Okay. You may talk with the kitchen staff, but like if you're gonna walk away or something, don't do anything, is what I'm saying. I need you where you are.
Okay.
Matt,
What?
did you hear
He
me?
was talking to you.
Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
It's hard to tell who he's talking to sometimes because he said he was responding to something.
But he also said kitchen staff, and you're the only one known to be in the kitchen.
I'm trying to
Fair.
keep things as open and not meta as possible.
That's fair. I just didn't think about it. He'd probably find a nice little corner and just put it in his pocket then, if he saw the hearty breakfast. Wrap it up in a napkin and do so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're making any distinctions for it this time around. It just looks like it's a bunch more of what they normally make.
Just pats his gut and be like, "Yes, I look forward to this quite a bit."
The kitchen dwarf will kind of look over to you and say, "Thank you, sir." You do get an idea that all these dwarves are kind of like low-key terrified, and your very presence is causing them to every now and then bumble. Like,
Why are my people scared of them? Is
Well-
it just like everybody or just him?
It's a peasant. It's basically small-time servants
And-
in the presence of an official lord.
Yeah,
what I would
peasants in presence of royalty. They all cowtail.
you see someone like accidentally drop a tray that they're getting out of the oven and very panickedly just pick it up and put it down and make themselves scarce.
Just wish to grab one and be like, "Huh, all of you quite all right. You just seem a bit on edge."
It's just we don't have many of the high people here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me. I keep forgetting I have this fancy title nowadays. Just always, if you can't tell, quite enjoyed myself the kitchen and food.
Well, do you need anything else, sir?
No, you're quite right. I probably should be moving on. Just getting a bit absent-minded as usual.
Thank you, sir.
Have a grand day. And he'll move off.
You run off.
Yep, walking off.
Okay. Unless there's something else. Some time passes and a servant goes over to each of your rooms, knocks on the door, and tries to get everybody to go to the breakfast thing. They have some difficulty with, God, I am horrible with names and my phone keeps locking on me.
Is it the elf, Nishala?
Yes, the Shala's, with getting the Shala up, but eventually they do coerce her into moving along. And you guys have a hearty dwarven breakfast.
Keep bringing
How's everybody looking? Compared to yesterday.
The Shala seems a little tired, but everybody else seems fine.
Well, phrase that badly. Anybody looking particularly happy or better off? I don't know if that's the. I'm trying to how to phrase this. It's just compared to the mood yesterday. How did everybody look?
Just far as I'm aware, there's no change unless somebody wants to impact one.
Okay. Fair
No,
enough.
And
I'm pretty
business
much the
as
same.
usual.
Everything's
I'm
fine.
enjoying the breakfast.
She's just
Probably.
gonna eat, and she's going to like put some food in her mouth, and she's just gonna be like, "So how's your toe?"
Is this a please? What?
What?
Sorry.
To Lyndon.
It's
So
What?
fine. My toe is fine.
Toe.
It still hurts. Can't walk on it all that well, but it's fine.
What is
Thank you
being
for asking.
good sir, what did you do to your toe?
Do you require
No,
healing?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I got up to go to the restrooms a little bit, and I stubbed my toe when I was coming back into my room. That's all.
I'm sure it would probably be no great difficulty to go and have a healer come in and perhaps
It's
give you a
fine. It's
potion.
not. No, it's not broken or anything. It's just sore. That's all.
Well, as interesting as his stubbed toe seems to be to everyone,
Apparently.
I would like to point out
I am the
that
host.
Perhaps
It is
as
my
you are.
job.
fair, but I would like to point out that we're all stuck here until we come up with a verdict for what we're going to do about Galadrius over there.
And it seems that we can't get any further with talking about Galadrius until we discuss our own insecurities about ourselves and other countries.
Hmm?
Whereas I do appreciate your hospitality, Lord Tom, I would like to go home.
Well, yes. But anyway, so basis of it. As of right now, who is for the proposition, who is against it, and who is still neutral to the whole matter?
Before we take the vote, I just want to point out that there have been spy activities happening. They're just being gracefully dodged by everyone.
I figured.
I am
The way you
completely
put that-
just ignoring the possibility entirely.
I wish
The
to
way-
bring up something before we have a vote that Lady Nishala there looks quite out of it. Do we need to perhaps adjourn till later to get a bit more rest?
Did you not sleep well?
No, I slept just fine. That's just my face.
Oh,
Well then,
Oh.
shall I take the vote then?
Right.
That might not be the final vote, but we'll at least get a
do you all
idea
want
of
to
whose position is where.
send me a for and opposed via Discord, and then I'll just tell everybody what we got here? If you want to take a vote thing.
Well, I wasn't doing a
Right.
final vote. I was doing a
Show of hands?
yeah, like
Where we
who's
stand
for
right
it, who's
now.
against it,
Fair.
so we can get an idea of who's who and who needs to.
I must say,
on the fence.
a vote this early on in such discussions would be how do you put it?
Counterproductive?
Counterintuitive, yes.
But I disagree. As of right now, we've all stated our our opening positions, and now we can go on and say who wants to argue for the position, who wants to argue against it, and who is still on the fence and can be persuaded otherwise by both
Yes,
sides.
and I agree.
I feel like this is more of a debate than more of a voting type thing.
Well, these things are
It
always
is.
debates.
Yes, it's supposed to
Anyway,
be.
I will say this. Like I said earlier, it seems that we have more pressing concerns than just Galadrius. From what I can see, the elf has problems with the human, and the gnome is out for themselves, and
That's
a
not exactly
whole-
new. That is
And
I was
not
gonna
new.
say,
in the
welcome to
least.
politics, my friend.
yes, I
The
know.
elves are always against anything different.
But
The
our
humans are
personal
themselves.
indifferences have nothing to do with this.
Well,
The
Quite
elf
so.
is an elf. It's that
Everybody
it
has
just
a
says an
bias.
elf.
if we
And
had
also, please stop calling me elf. I
You
have
are
a
an elf.
name.
Yes, your tongue twister of a name. I'm sorry.
apologies, I'm just referring to all of us as our race at the moment. We all have our own disagreements with everything going on. We all have our own problems with it, and I personally believe we can't come to any kind of decision until we figure out the root of those problems. Whereas, yes, shit, where'd the name go? Nishala just has problems. Her people have problems with change. Yes, that is known. My people are naturalistic and prefer to be
Neutral.
wild and run free. That is fair, but that is neither here nor there. I mean the open hostility towards each other. And if I may be so bold as to say, the almost pure backstabbing nature of wanting to cut off Galadrius entirely and getting all the trade for yourself, as he looks at the gnome. Whose name I have forgotten. Hendrik, there it is.
That is not what I suggested at all.
It's not what you suggested, but it was implied.
I would like to point out
It would be a consequence of that.
I would
Yes,
say Lord
again,
Hendrik here merely wanted to give them a chance that seemed to stand on their own and potentially become a country quite one above itself.
But they brought up the aspect of trade, and the ones to benefit the most from trade is, well, them,
The gnomes.
not us. They have the largest trade port, and, well, things come from that.
Quite so.
And again, all of us are in apparent agreement over the human culture's just blatant disregard for sharing any amount of knowledge. It's
To be fair
worrisome.
to
at
them.
best. So again, I state that we have other issues that apparently are being brought up because of this, and it will probably be noticeable, but he will shoot a very quick daggered glance at the orc, and then look back at everyone else.
To
Excuse
be
me.
fair to the humans, their new technology is rather new, as it happens, and it is developed by them rather than any of us. So they do have some right to keep it to themselves. But on the other hand, well, as has been pointed out, there should honestly be some oversight on it, so that we don't all wake up with a vast armada over our heads. Yes? Is chosen
Have humans
as a
ever
light tentacle. Yes?
From everything I've
Trying to get it to be a
Heard.
light joke at the end?
From everything I've heard of their technology, it was more found than it was developed, was it not? And he'll look at where the fuck is your name, Forrest?
I have
Who?
to ask
Oh,
on Eric
Forrester?
out of character on that one. Is that true?
Yes, you were a part of the group that found it in the first campaign, remember?
Shush! I'm not asking you.
Whereas it may be true, no one else should know that.
Oh, I didn't know
Ooh.
And, my dear sir, I'd like to ask why you inquire on that.
that. Well, everyone hears their rumors, you know.
Quite so.
Rumors of all kinds of different natures.
Such as? It's not a
Rumors
rumor that I
should
have
be-
heard.
I say rumors should be quite very carefully parsed, though, because how often have they been spread and then falsified? As
That's
I
why
can say, I have
asked.
heard quite the number of unpleasant rumors about everybody else, and it's
Of
quite
course,
frankly, most of them are unfounded, as far as I know.
That is why I brought it up and I asked you. Now, why are you dodging the question?
I am dodging the question because sitting here at this table, I've come to talk about the taxes of the land, and all I am hearing is people angry at our development that we have tooth and nail throughout our generations worked on.
I would like to point out that
And I
I'm
keep
not
hearing
one
people
of those.
bringing upon them, as you just suggested, an oversight, sir.
I mean, you bring up tooth and nail. We've all had our own problems. We've
I
all had
agree,
our own
and I have not
difficulties,
asked you guys to have oversight or issues with yours.
And
But
again,
everybody's
we-
quick to bring them up with mine.
Are the humans a newer race, or
No.
have they been along?
No.
They have been there for
Well,
a very, very long time.
Dylan, don't laugh. I haven't played D&D.
That's
They've been there
fine.
for as long as we have. You live longer.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just live extremely short compared to most.
That said,
Yeah,
though,
they
probably within your character's mother or father's lifetime, they did go on a fuck-off huge campaign, which is why their piece of land is so much bigger than everybody else's.
And that's why I don't like them.
Fair.
I'm assuming.
And as I was about to say, to be completely frank with you, the orcs benefited off of our backs for many generations, and some still do to this day, and that's neither here nor there right now. We're not on the aspect of troubling times or bullshitting or whatever mayhaps is going on there. I'm on the side of everyone should have an equal portion to everything. And we've been neutral through all this and giving you all we can offer, as far as I am aware. And yet all of you are holding back your own. It's my only bringing up. If we can't agree on simple things like that, we can't agree on taxing some insignificant city-state that is doing well enough on its own.
She's just going to like look up at him and just like, why do you keep
You look
talking
down at him.
to them?
He's 2 feet tall. You look down on him.
Who?
I look down
Okay.
at him.
He's
And
2.5
she's
feet tall.
And she's just gonna be like, why do you keep talking down about them? Why are they insignificant? Why are they puny? Why
We
can't we
have
just
2
crush
cities,
them?
maybe 3.
Well,
Because we can crush them because we can crush them.
She's gonna put her
You must
hand
be
up and
entirely
she's
honest.
like, Sir, I did not ask you. I'm sorry.
You ask
but
questions
this is
and
not
I
part of your
answer.
discussion.
You were
Yes,
anyway,
asked, though.
the heated.
I would like to just slam a hand down on the table really loudly right now.
Did you?
And just bring it to, please. As much as all this is going on, he's just kind of like rubbing the bridge of his nose. Yelling at each other won't really accomplish quite anything.
And to answer your question, I'm not merely talking down on them, I'm merely stating fact. To us, to our civilization as it stands right now, they are small, they are weak, and they are insignificant. So I'm merely stating the fact of the matter. I am not trying to start a war with them, I'm not trying to start a war with anyone. I'm not trying
But are
to...
they more prosperous than you?
Are they, Eric?
Not really, but they're doing really well right now.
No, they are not more prosperous than I.
Give it a while and they will.
Well, that may be so. And that's why we're here, to talk about that. If they do become more prosperous than us and more powerful than us, then they might be considered a threat. And they should be
Are you
allied
afraid of them?
instead of... No, they should be allied instead of subjugated.
I
If-
say
if
we all
it-
just do our own thing.
Rather argumentative, are you not?
And you're rather opinionated, are you not?
We
Don't
all
have
are, it would
opinions.
seem.
You're
Well,
just
I,
going
for one,
about
am
it
quite
very
excited to
aggressively.
see... I'll say, I, for one, am quite excited to see what Galadrius develops into. I've never seen quite the mixing pot of all of us.
But will it be done with the resources of the countries, or will it be done on its own merit?
That's a good question.
And that is what we are here to find out. So, I believe Lord Tom decided upon a hand-raised vote. It seems about time to do that.
I mean, on one hand, I would love to vote and see if we can agree, but I don't think anybody has agreed on anything.
Well, we're not allowed to leave until we do, so...
I feel like we haven't quite discussed the matter at hand, though. We've been dancing around the problem for so long.
Then
We don't even
speak
know
your
what's going
mind.
to happen.
And speak
You
your mind
brought
on it.
us here. It is your job to tell us what the money will be used for.
Please do not holler.
I'm sorry.
Yes, it's
Is
very
that
loud.
in character or for Max?
In character. No, in character.
Oh, okay.
Now then. Quite frankly, we've already agreed. Well, those of us who are for it have already both stated that we'd prefer to go and have it used for infrastructure. Now then, give me a second. Oh fuck! Who's the other person who was for it? Who was arguing for what was it?
I don't think anybody agreed to it.
No, shut up.
Nobody agreed to it because
wait.
of the bandits.
Out of character right now. Cal, who was it
That's
that
what I'm
saying something about? Who was saying something about increasing the strength of cities or something? To
That was me.
Yeah, that was you. Okay.
I've been neutral throughout all of it, so I've been
Yeah, yeah,
arguing for and I've been arguing against it.
Yes, I know, but you're the only person who's actually said anything for what to actually do with the money aside from me. We're gonna use your example.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I was arguing that there are benefits to doing such.
Yeah. Okay, now back into the actual game. Okay. Now then, both I and Lyndon, as the only ones who have actually stated any other possible things to actually use the money for, have stated to use it for the increasing infrastructure. I would prefer to increase the roads or make them better, and he would prefer to go and increase the strength of the cities and such.
Well, I merely stated that as something you could do with the money.
If you do, yes, but no one else has stated any purpose to use that money for aside from you and me.
Yes,
Quite honestly, I assume that any of us that are getting our tax income from all of this would be parsing it out around the multiple departments of where it's needed in their country.
Quite possible.
Lord Tom's proposal does have its good points. Everyone would benefit from it.
But the main problem with your proposal, Tom, is that you still haven't discussed the bandits. How will we keep bandits off the streets, and how will we keep our innocent citizens from being robbed blind?
If you
There
have
is
problem with
no-
bandits inside your cities, I think you should probably go and look
It's
to your
not
own
inside
people.
the cities.
Then why'd you
It's
bring
on
them
the
up?
road.
Except you brought up bandits inside your cities.
I didn't bring up bandits inside the cities. I brought up bandits on the road.
Sounded like you brought up bandits in general, not just in a specific area.
If I may play
From
devil's
how you worded
advocate
it.
on Lord Tom's behalf here, then there will always be bandits, but proper
Yeah.
roadways and increased travel amongst them will decrease the amount of attacks that are had.
If you're so worried about bandits, then we can have money sent to go and build extra guard houses and positions for guard posts so that the guys can go and make stopping points more regular and such. They'd be able to guard
So
the
you
other areas better.
So
Bad
you wish to
people.
tax them even more.
Bad
Why
people
would we
always
need to-
find
oh,
a
God.
way to be bad people. There's no stopping bandits, thieves, or whatever. They're going to happen no matter what you do.
Yes,
We would
but
not
at
need
the
to go
same
and
time-
increase the tax any further. We just need to use the tax that we'd already talking about proposing. As we
And
can
whose
use that tax
people
for
do you want
making
to
the guard.
sacrifice
Why would I be sacrificing people?
to fight the bandits?
Well,
The
which would you
gods.
prefer? Which would you prefer? People fighting against them or just letting them roam?
I prefer for everything to stay how it is. It's perfect the way it is. It has been for the past hundreds of years. It's been fine.
Okay then. You made
That's
your
what you
position
may
quite
think.
clear.
But
Does anyone else have any positions? How about you, Horace? What is your position on the matter? What would you do with the money?
Quite honestly, what I expect would happen with the money that went to our country are cut of all this. It would be parsed around and spread around, shoring up areas like certain departments or organizations that have a lack of funding at the moment.
That's perfectly acceptable. So we have 2 votes for putting the money to wherever it is, passing it out to where it is needed.
I would like to
also
bring up the
agree.
point that if we agree to increase this, we should not increase it by
Too
a
much.
high amount. We want to
Yes. You don't want to go and
increase
it more than
income, but we do not wish to invoke
tax them to death.
anger
Yeah.
in the population.
But even ignoring anger in the population, there's also the fact that even if they did go and give us all the money that we asked for them, if we increase it too high, then we would choke out the poor citizens of all the money. They would not be able to grow any, stifle their growth.
as
So let's keep the tax low. Yes.
as Mr. Hendrick pointed out, to play devil's advocate, what's to say they even pay this additional tax? They could just say we can benefit ourselves on our own and just not pay it.
The fact that
The
aren't
fact
all
that
men in
there
the
are-
military at this point.
well,
I don't wish to insult people, far from it, because, well, I'd honestly be quite insulting everyone here and myself, but those on the lower ends of the income, the lower ends of the not part of all the organization, tend to follow.
Max is
It's,
having problems.
What happens is a tendency when people get in large groups. They follow something that proposes a lead.
Indeed.
It's not a guaranteed, and I hit my microphone out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bonk.
And I understand your concern, but I will point out quite often that's how it goes.
Quite frankly, if they decide to do that, well, our people make up the majority of the military. What would happen if all their military just came back home then?
They would find their own, more than likely, which is what
Except that it's quite without.
Well, it's what
For a
Mr. Hendrick proposed earlier, to take our military away from them anyway and have them supply their own, as they can do that now.
Gradually.
Agree
Yes.
with that, to be honest. They're still rather small.
Well,
Uh,
we all
2 to
started
3.
small and we prospered well enough.
Yes,
Especially with
except
orcs.
Yes, except for the fact that, as stated, they are still rather small, and at this point, they could grow much faster with still having our support. I don't believe that they would be able to stand upon their own 2 feet just yet. Maybe in the future, after they've grown a little. But, as it stands, I do not believe that they're strong enough to stand on their own. Now, without undue harshness to their people, and undue suffering. Has this thing died again?
No?
No, you're good.
No.
Nope, we're just listening.
That's, I mean, just usual, just a complete lack of any noise whatsoever. It's
We're
usually a good sign that this thing's died again.
Yeah, it is, I know, but until we
Yeah,
can
just
figure out how to make
listening.
Discord stable, then this best we got.
Just did not want to interrupt.
Yes. Now, to be entirely honest, the question of whether we should go and take support away from them or not, if you must decide that you must take away support from them, at the very least, do not do it all entirely. Just do it slight amounts.
Well, at the moment, all that we are doing is deciding whether or not to increase the taxation or leave it as is.
Yes, but others keep bringing up the possibility of removing the support or...
Well, that is a thing for the future, but it is heavily dependent on what we decide now. Because if we increase it, it means that they are going to be a colony, and they are going to support all of us. But if we do not, then it leaves the door open for them to support themselves.
Well, it stands, they should probably remain a colony until such a time that they can support themselves. And then perhaps petition for entrance into the coalition, yes?
Well, there would be
That's
no
what makes most
coalition
sense to me.
if Galadrius stops being a colony, then there will be no coalition, because that is their only power. The unifying factor that we all have would dissolve.
Really?
Yes.
Eric? I thought we just had an agreement to not,
The
If I like
coalition
that,
has
please,
power
if I
because
go
everyone
through.
wants to benefit from Galadrius. Once Galadrius is
Really?
no longer a thing, the
we-
coalition
I-
stops.
out of character, I misunderstood this thing entirely. I thought it was just we had a general fucking, not exactly an alliance or anything, but still just a bit of an agreement or something.
I know you guys
and
aren't.
it centers on Galadrius.
You guys aren't really
Yes, and
allied
that's
per
why-
se.
Agreement.
Hey!
Go on.
Whenever trying, at least have one person do it, as I can't understand a word anybody says when everybody starts yelling.
Okay.
Or, well, not yelling, but talking over each other.
Let me say this then. You guys aren't necessarily allied per se, but no one wants to do anything to piss off everybody else because they'll stop receiving benefits from Galadrius.
Okay, and as I was saying, I thought that this was before Galadrius had happened, so,
No.
like I said, I was mistaken. Okay, yeah.
I'll just Horace will be very excited and probably twirling his mustache a little bit. It's to put it frank though, for us as we talk about all this to remove support, add support, all this. I don't think we want to remove support. Do any of you really wish to deny the chance to be part of what could write history?
No, I do not wish to do so.
Well, again, I wasn't the one who brought it up.
I wasn't targeting anyone in particular. I was just bringing it up for everyone as a whole.
Why would I wish to be a part of history when I'm always a part of history?
Because, as much as you wish things to
Fair
stay the
enough.
same, the world
They don't.
changes.
Whether things move
The
on
world around
now,
them may change, but they don't.
Perhaps we could
I've
just make a vote of it
wished
right
you-
now about what, so we could just go and stop bringing up the idea of removing the support then. Because I hear at least 3 voices.
I do believe that's for a later discussion. I've agreed with Lord Hendrick there.
That others are insistent that it is important to the subject at hand, and that
It
we cannot
is.
move past it until after we have made this choice.
No, they've insisted we cannot move past it until we come to our agreements on everybody's insecurities, as I believe Miss Lord Linden said about it.
I have none.
He'll just do that, like the open palm gesture of.
So to get to the heart of the matter,
Of what? Wait, hold on. What?
I have no
Matt
idea.
said open palm gesture of, and then he just stopped.
Just like the
talking.
open palm gesture, like the flat palms open up, like you gesture in front of you. That's what I
Oh.
meant by it. It
Chuck
didn't get
was-
cut off. I just worded it poorly.
Okay.
shrugs. Just shrugs.
That's what I was making sure of. I was making sure you didn't get cut off. I don't know what a fucking open palm gesture is, but you're fine. Do whatever. It's fine.
Fair.
so to get back to the matter, the 2 main propositions are do nothing and or a majority disagrees, or we agree to raise the taxation some amount and we all get the residual benefits. I am on the side of leaving it alone, though I do see where some additional taxation during their golden period would be beneficial to all of us at large.
Well, you also are the one who petitions that it, while being left alone, we slowly and gradually take away our support from them, and then you would benefit the most.
Well, that
Would it not?
simply because we are great merchants does not mean that we have everyone's that we have a monopoly on everything.
Well, no, I'm just trying to get to the point of
But raising taxes on something is, do we treat it as its own burgeoning country or simply a colony?
it as I stated it earlier, it is a city-state. To call it a colony now would be counterintuitive.
It's a colony, by all meaning of the word.
For now, yes. It's soon and up and coming going to not be. I have all the faith in that. On its own, mind you.
So do we want to profit from it while we can, or try to hasten it? If we do hasten it, though, then the coalition will dissolve, and there will be once again less of an incentive not to war with each other.
Indeed.
I
Yeah.
think we can quite agree that war is very much not an outcome we desire.
Yes,
It profits virtually no one.
and Lord Tom's proposal would keep it as a colony for longer. This is also very true. But
I
which
also have
side
a
of history do
question.
you want to be on? Go on.
Does everyone have a general idea of how much it was increasing the tax? You said like the 10%-ish earlier.
Something that they could easily afford over there in Galadrius at the moment, and would provide a distinctive benefit to everyone else. So whatever that percent
Let's say
is
somewhere like
in your
5 or
heart,
something.
it'd be fine.
Okay.
How many of us are there?
Maine actually going to be taking a vote.
Well, I'm just
Six.
curious. How many of us are there?
6.
Mhm.
6.
A human, an
Yeah.
elf, a orc, a gnome, a halfling, and a dwarf.
Okay, so it will split equally between us all.
Could I propose a compromise,
Possible.
perhaps?
Indeed. Go
I
ahead.
see a number of different opinions on this. We have the proposed amount. We could take we have a proposed amount of change and it remain the same. Could we meet in the middle?
Are you
Could we do
proposing
meet in the
to increase taxation for a set amount of time and then decrease it later?
I would like to propose. I would propose it be situational and see how it impacts.
So basically, yes. I could get behind that.
As
Yeah,
I very much do not
well.
wish to condemn a very much potential country, I would, as I stated earlier, quite excited to see what they can make of themselves. As much as I do not wish for the, at least, neutrality we all have towards each other to end.
We could increase the taxation up until the point where they reach some pre-decided condition. A number of number of cities, a number of population, perhaps a number of things that they decide that they have become their own country in total.
Would it be
Yes?
quite hard to set a number on all that with the
Well, that'd be a
intermingling mixing pot of
generalization.
all the species? Everybody, I guarantee, at least I feel like almost all of us have a different idea of what would make it a country, what numbers it has to reach, what amenities, what culture, what kind of interactions they have to meet. So that I would propose would be a whole entire another meeting in and of itself. That I
We can do
surely
that,
do not think
actually.
we all wish to stand here for this time.
Okay. Well, we can actually do that. We can propose that we're going to increase the taxation, and that once others feel, one of the groups in the coalition feels that the country has that the city-state has possibly come up to a country, they can call for another vote to end the taxation. That the time period is complete.
That sounds fair.
What say you, Horace?
Yeah.
That sound agreeable?
Can I call a quick break out of character for a minute?
Are you saying we've been arguing about taxes for 2 hours and you want to take a
Yep.
little bit to...
Not just that, but I've been called out, so I have to go help somebody do something.
Okay, that's fine. Take about 13 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds good.
I don't know how long it'll take, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Thank
hold
you.
on, let me grab my big, horrible, big on-break screen.
That's fine.
Ah,
I
there
gotta
you
step
go.
away right now.
Hey. Love
What do
you.
you gotta say, Max?
Okay.
What?
You really do
I'm break.
have views on how an elf would view things, well, don't you?
Max, you... How did you do that?
Do what?
Embrace
you were the
elven
only
bed.
one who had a poison thing.
Well, I didn't trust it.
It's just on a whim. The one person who was poisoned, please, whoever tried this, do not say anything. Just managed to have an insight to go, no.
I just felt like I was being a bitch, so I was like, if they were gonna poison someone, it'd probably be me.
That was amazing. You Mr. Magooed your way out of trouble.
Bro, the
I
way
walked
you...
in like I was a bitch, and I feel like they were like, oh no, we're not dealing with her, not today. So they were
Ooh.
just like, we're gonna off her.
Eric, the way you word things, oh my god, the way you say things, it makes me fucking laugh.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
every time.
You guys have legitimately been arguing about taxes for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Is everybody enjoying themselves regardless?
Fuck no.
Oh.
I feel like I was getting actually angry, so I had to take a second.
You
You're
were getting
fine.
angry.
Dylan, honey, I love you. Don't get me wrong, but you make me angry.
You guys argue like
We are
your
not.
siblings.
We are supposed to be from. We aren't from. These people are not from democratic places. They aren't supposed to be. Oh yes, for the people, by the people. They don't have the constitution. They don't have this or that. No, they have like monarchies and such.
Funny
Yeah,
for you to
bro.
believe that I believe in the democratic system.
Well, it's
Oof.
just a nice, easy, open.
You kept bringing up the people's rights to things, I think,
Yeah.
is what brought that up.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute
Well, I
myself to
know.
Discord and talk
Plus,
directly
it's
to
American. It's
everyone
it's just a big
else
red
on the
spot for
pod.
us. Yes.
Anyway, so
Act like
You
I'm
don't want to
fucking
hear my
Japanese.
thoughts on America right now, Dylan.
During that time,
You don't want to hear my thoughts
America
on America right now
sucks.
either.
Hope's character tried to poison Max's and
Half is on
failed.
fire. Let's go from back.
And
Okay, now.
James's
So,
went around
seriously
to
though,
try to
you nailed
find
the
some suspicious things
immortal
around the
elf,
castle, which he didn't really find.
Immortal, unchanging elf. Perfectly, Max.
Oh,
Well,
thank
that's
you.
what people
I
think.
thought you were talking about me doing a bad job.
No. Don't get that. Don't think that. No. On one hand, I find the for the people thing was a bit odd, but on the other hand, it's a fucking elf. They might. I don't know what their country's like. They might be more like that than us. Yeah.
You're not on
Elves
there.
have.
We've not
And,
been.
You're not on the chat,
Me
no.
or Matt? What?
Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean-
He's
elves,
talking, but nobody
Yeah.
can hear him.
elves have a tendency to hate humans, so I fucking love that.
I feel like I'm just a racist old bitch.
You're an elf.
I mean, makes sense though.
You're still not
Tell-
on.
Tell him to leave and then come back.
Leave him come back. He did.
I mean,
I
It
heard
just
a
hates
clunk
him.
from his microphone.
Fucking somebody kick him or something.
Hi.
There we
There you
go.
are.
I mean, Max.
Yeah.
You did. The elves don't change, and they don't like change. Yeah. So you did that rather well.
I tried to
thank
be
you.
peaceful with people, and it just doesn't work well.
I went to theater school, Dylan.
Why would you do that? Oh wait, no,
Me?
you're doing background something.
Yeah.
Not the-
You knew
not
I went to
main stage,
theater
you
school,
did-
Dylan.
You did the whatchamacallit, what's that?
The technical theater. It was like the behind the
Yeah.
science stuff. But it was
Yeah,
the
I
biggest waste of money I've ever did in my life.
I
So
remember.
I also asked that question, why did I do that?
No. I mean, I know you cut hair. Yes, it just seems very odd until I remember that you had done the background thing and everything. It's like you did not seem like the actress type. Now I remember it's like, oh yeah, you did the actual technical bits for it, not the.
I also had to take acting classes, Dylan, so that was fun.
Why would you take acting classes for being in the
Because I
background?
had
like
to
a
for
dick?
my degree.
Why does that feel like a low-key insult?
Yeah,
What?
seriously.
Alright.
Which
That
bit?
did come out as an insult, Dylan, even if you can't tell.
No, seriously, which bit? I need more specifics.
Like, I know you
So
cut
the
hair,
only
but you
way
don't
that
seem
had
like
to
an
take
actor.
acting classes.
One person at a time.
Eric.
The I know you cut hair, what are you doing taking acting classes?
Because if she had done that, she figured that she'd be pursuing, I don't know, something else in actual acting instead of going off in a different direction.
Well, it
I
was
can
for
also
technical
weld, Dylan.
theater.
Dylan.
What?
I can also weld. I took welding classes too.
Hey!
Yes, but I can
You
see
keep
more.
in mind, Dylan, when you go for a
practical.
degree in college, they have a number of classes that aren't on the point or
And?
like slightly adjacent you have to take to get the degree.
Because I was taking that degree, I had to take an acting class. I also had to take a sewing class. I had to take a welding class. I had to take an AutoCAD class, which teaches me how to work construction programming.
And I can see points for everything except, well, I can't see points for acting, but I can see points for. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what the last one entirely
acting is
would
fun.
work. I can see welding. I can see sewing.
Yeah.
There's actual technical bits for the like the
Right.
on the stage and everything, making props and such.
AutoCAD's very helpful because I
Yeah.
can put in a computer the set that I want to build instead of having to draw it out on paper.
I feel like
Well, I
I
have
should.
no idea what that was, so I couldn't say one way or the other.
I feel like
Well,
I should.
that's what it is.
I feel like I should point out that now that there seems to be a consensus going on with the deliberation stuff, and since after that's done, everybody's gonna go and leave, I can sense an increase in chaos about to approach because there's a lot of objectives that don't care one way or the other how this thing actually goes for its actual taxation of things. And if everybody leaves and none of those things are done, they all fail.
But I was really surprised this didn't end up turning into a murder mystery of who killed the Manor Lord.
It
It's like,
almost did.
I
I
almost
mean-
like Dylan.
it was Professor Peach in the dining
With a
room
toothbrush.
with poison,
No, with a toothbrush.
with a
That's
candlestick.
fine.
I think that Hope tried to kill me, but that's just me thinking.
I think somebody tried to kill the gnome. Or halfling, yes. I think someone tried to kill James, and that's why he was happening that night. I think he tried to go
I just had that strong feeling in my gut that Hope was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill her. And she just tried to kill me, and I caught it.
I love this.
No offense, Hope. That's not an attack,
She's not
but
here.
you
She's
tried to
getting food.
attack me.
We've had like 3 die rolls, and I think only 2 of them were on fucking stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly don't see anything. Hope having done anything. I mean, she's barely said anything.
That's the point. She was too quiet.
I just get that she just feels really neutral about the whole situation. She doesn't
Either
care one way or the
that,
other.
or you just tried to kill me so that he has to sleep on the couch tonight.
I could see you
I
having
won't say
insulted
yes or
someone
no to
else
any
if they
of
tried
this.
to kill you.
I know you won't.
The gnome is innocent. Happy face.
Says you.
Technically, so is the halfling. The halfling is
Says
innocent.
you.
Someone tried to kill the halfling, I think.
I think everyone's guilty. Everyone tried to kill me, and I'm not happy about it.
I will say this: no one tried to kill the halfling. He went on a bathroom break.
Max, if I kill you, my position has failed. I want this thing to work. So I need
Dylan,
all
you're
you people to
supposed to
quit
tell me.
do things.
You're supposed to tell me what your objective is.
He really
I have
didn't.
been blatantly obvious about my position here.
No,
want to-
you've been arguing with me. How do you know I'm not just gonna off myself?
My God.
If you do that, I will go.
Plot twist.
I will glare at your ashes as I burn your body.
Someone will succeed.
I will take your body. I will burn it. I will go and gather your ashes in urn. I will toss your ashes off a
What you're
cliff.
saying is someone's prime objective is just to kill me?
I'm sure someone's might be.
At this
But
point, I'm
who
considering it. At this point, I'm considering it. I will fail my objective just to get the racist old biddy dead. Yes.
Once
it's
everybody
very
votes.
technical.
Their vote
What?
has been once everybody actually once a consensus is made on this thing, then
That's it.
it doesn't matter what happens to people.
Yeah. Very well then. Let's just vote quickly before
So-
someone goes and dies.
Is
Can I get
everybody
back
back?
to it then?
No.
Dylan's like, let me win.
As I said earlier,
I didn't know she was still gone.
Rose is getting food.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Didn't know they were still gone. I'm sorry.
Where have you been?
That's why
It
we're
wasn't.
asked to check.
Well, she wasn't here to defend herself while I was accusing her, and now I feel
No,
bad.
you were not. No, I told you while you were accusing her, she is not here.
I'm sorry, I don't listen.
You
Also,
don't
speaking while somebody else is speaking is a good way for something to not be heard at all. It's just the pain of Discord.
So how have you been, James?
I'm on stream still. I'm not muted. All this is still live. I'm not saying shit.
Very well then.
He's been riding with the best of them. Gotcha.
Dylan, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you gotten your tattoo yet?
Tattoo.
Nope. She wants me to get a tattoo, apparently.
No, well, last time I saw you 2 years ago, you were gonna get a tattoo, and I was just wondering if you did it.
Nope. No tattoo.
I haven't talked to you in 2 years, Dylan. I'm just trying to catch up.
Sound like you're speaking in like a New York accent.
Eating.
Haven't talked to each other, and then I toss you all into a situation where anyone could potentially be trying to kill each other. Fun.
Absolutely. Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Well, now I know that Dylan's not trying to kill me. So
Yeah,
it has to
really?
be hope.
I've been blatantly obvious about what my goal for this thing is. I've just been trying to herd cats.
Or if he wants money.
I don't know. You're getting pretty aggressive with me, so I thought maybe you were just gonna stab me in the throat.
He's probably taking into account that dwarves, or taking into the stereotypical of things that dwarves don't like elves.
Well, there's that, but she's also just rather rude. And it is my house, and she's just insulting me in my house.
You invited me. It's not my fault.
Yes.
Quite
it
funny I'm the
doesn't
only one
matter.
using people's titles. I think Kingelgrad has, the Hendrick has actually as well, but everybody else is just like, you! or race, or name, but nobody's been using titles.
This is why the coalition
I
is
have,
Okay.
used,
no one respects each
I
other.
have used the title
I
of the
know.
Master of the House. I have consistently used the dwarf
Very
title.
polite. He's very polite.
Oh my. One.
No one else's.
Does anyone else actually have any official title?
Lord
Yeah.
or lady. We are
Hmm.
of like what's the word? Higher descent.
Nope.
Highborn. Anyway,
I just want to point out that in my notes, I have it wrote down that I am 400 as of today. So
Oh, happy birthday.
this was all happening during my birthday.
It's a poor choice of timing.
And
I
someone
know.
poisoned your dessert.
Apparently.
Apparently.
On my birthday.
if you'd known it was your birthday, we would have poisoned it all.
Nothing like a friendly murder attempt to celebrate a birthday.
Indeed.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to think of who asked me why I wasn't eating.
The dwarf asked you why you weren't eating anything, and then I asked you why you weren't eating your dessert.
Dessert.
Precisely. Suspicious.
You actively pushed it away from you, so I was curious.
And as the master of the house, as the host, it is kind of my job to make sure you're all well enough, yes?
Yeah,
You're there.
but
Yeah.
Jesus,
If Max is
fuck.
saying something, we don't hear it.
No, we
Okay,
don't.
now you're on.
I think she yelled it into her microphone into oblivion.
You short-circuited it while yelling at it.
Peek.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
just heard the
having
microwave close, so that means
We've just been talking taxes for 2 hours.
fun. I know. I'm having fun
What
though.
are you doing?
It's been fun. I get to
What
make
are
a
you-
single die roll.
What are you doing? Get your fucking food!
Whenever chaos starts, it's gonna hit hard and fast.
Because we've been sitting here for 10 minutes waiting on you!
I just feel like
Hey,
I have
James.
a target in my head.
James,
You have a
James, if
what
you're going
in
to
your head?
yell at people in the other room, I would.
Mute one of the
Please
microphones that are
silence
gonna
it.
catch you. We can hear it on the other one. It's fine though.
Oh,
What was I being accused of now?
Being slow.
Everything.
I was trying to ask James not to
Go
yell in
ahead.
everybody's
That's
ears.
not what she was talking about, Matthew.
Oh,
Murder of great dessert.
What?
Nothing. Shoot.
I need to
No,
turn
wait.
it back down in volume.
Somebody poisoned her dessert. She's blaming you for it.
Why?
Because you're so quiet.
I'm suspicious.
I've been
are
quiet most of the
suspicious.
time anyway. My character's very quiet and broody.
Don't be suspicious.
Well, I'm
Don't be
suspicious.
suspicious. Don't be.
No,
Be suspicious of everybody,
like I said,
not just
you
me.
are
Jeez, I was
suspicious.
at the
You are
table.
very suspicious yourself.
No.
You.
Well, I also
Pretty
said
much
I was
specifically
suspicious
Max
of
is
your.
questioning you.
I was suspicious of multiple people.
You're also horribly racist.
Fact.
Oh.
I'm suspicious of everyone.
What I'm getting at there, Max, is you suspect a lot of people, but you're saying
I do.
suspicious, and I'm saying you are suspicious.
Don't
You
be
yourself.
suspicious.
You are suspicious.
I'm sorry.
I love that.
Chaos is gonna
Why
hit
are you
hard and
calling-
it's gonna hit fast whenever it does
I
come.
think I have a target on my
I
head.
know.
If it hits,
I
it's
have
gonna
expecting
fucking
you to
hit.
kill us, to be honest, Max.
Same with how angry your character is. I
Just
feel
have-
like she's just gonna stab everybody.
I just have a bomb just on my body.
I'm assuming that is what your cane is. I'm assuming it's a cane sword or something.
Domestic
You just
terror.
gonna go and like,
It's not a sword.
You guys need to
gonna take her head
stop. I
off.
can't breathe.
Contact
It's not
fireball.
a sword,
Kaboom.
Dylan. I'm not that cliche.
Wait, no, she's not from here, so it wouldn't be domestic terrorism. It would just be terrorism.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm back at my seat now.
Okay. Are we all good to continue?
I don't actually have a
No.
bomb. Don't kill me because you think I have a bomb.
That would be metagaming, and it would be wrong.
Let's take this vote.
Yes, we're good to
Are you
continue. Eric.
back?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
You are.
Well then. So who is for the increased taxation with the proposed plan, and who is against it?
Wait, are we going right back into it now?
I hope
Yeah.
we are.
Okay.
Are we?
Are we going to talk or are we just going to write it in chat?
We should
It's a role play. We gotta
do it.
for
Yeah.
stream. We gotta do it in person.
Okay. Are we good to go now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold
Well,
on
if it's a
just
show of
a
hands, then
second.
we just say
Wait, I
who's
heard
holding the
a-
thing, and if we're not, then
I heard a hold on. What, Matt?
Just hold on. It's just a second. I wish to ask a question. What was
Was
that?
I can't reveal every question.
No.
I can't reveal most questions. Everyone's happy, friendly, fun with each other. No one has any ulterior motives at all.
Ooh,
No.
make people suspicious and fucking. Oh Jesus,
So,
unnecessary.
take the vote. Before anyone dies, let's take the vote.
Ooh,
Please?
Well,
Okay, so we're ready to come off break?
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're back into it. Last time there was the idea of a preliminary vote to see where people stood. I believe that that's what's happening now.
Ugh. Yeah,
Don't
sorry. I thought this was going to be a final vote. Anyway, so who is for the increased taxation upon the proposed plan, using the proposed plan, and who is against it? Show of hands. I raise my hand.
Well,
For.
first off, there was also a third vote of in the middle somewhere of some nonsense, but I am neither for nor against it yet. I've not had the chance to discuss it fully enough, but
Can we ask your issues with it then, sir?
Yes.
Lord
Yes.
Linden?
It's not that I have particular issues with the said plan or issues with not going with said plan. It's just that we have barely spoken of it hardly at all. As you probably may guess or may know, that my people are more neutral, and right now I'm not swayed either way.
So the plan at current is to have a vote on a temporary increase in taxation, with it, with it ending after a short amount of time. Or relatively short amount of time, given individuals' lifespans and such.
Yes.
what I understand.
Very well then.
Ooh. Excuse me.
Consume tight.
Thank you.
My sneezes are contagious. Ha 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 ha.
No, I just have shit allergy.
Yes. They're quite fun. Now, as we're saying,
Well, it'd be quite
there we go.
odd for me to not agree with my own proposal. I do wish to move forward with the temporary tax raise that is quite in the middle and see how it impacts before we finalize or do the rest of it.
That sounds fine with me.
Okay, so show
And
of
how about
hands
you,
for.
Sakura?
Or
Sakura?
actually, no, this would be on you, Tom.
So, how about a show of hands for? And raise your hand. I raise my hand. Anyone else?
For the changed one, right? Not the
Yes.
Then yes, Horace will raise his hand.
I'm
Yes, I
also
will
gonna raise
as
my
well.
hand.
So yes, yes.
You might
yes.
see a little bit of surprise on his face
Ooh.
We
Dwarf is
have-
ignoring it and
at
hoping
the.
it gets forward.
I was gonna say Horace might have a small bit of surprise when Lady Lucilla. I don't want to pronounce her name wrong. Hold on.
Nishala.
Nishala
Nishala.
actually raises her hand to agree.
Leyland?
I just want to get out of here.
That's London. Whatever. James.
What?
He's asking
For
for
or
your vote.
against?
You said show of hands for 4,
And he's not raising his hand.
and I'm not raising my hand.
I know, but we need to
Hendrik
make
will
sure
go
everyone
ahead and raise
has
his hand for 4.
Do we need
Well-
to? Does this need to be unanimous?
It just needs to be proper majority, but let's hear the against.
Wait, I mean, Hope, have you voted, Eric?
Yes, I went ahead
Yeah,
and said yes.
Kindlegrad raised his hand.
Okay. Hope, have you voted?
Yes.
For?
Yeah.
Is that 4 then, or no?
Yes.
Seems everyone is in agreement of some sort, and we
Okay.
haven't even sat here and talked about it long enough. A bit hasty decision, but can't be helped.
It is more of a compromise decision, but I do see its merits.
It's a more of a I never want to see you guys ever again decision.
Just
That
fine
is-
with
Well,
me.
as you live long enough, you probably will at least once or twice. We have to come to these decisions every once in a while.
Next
anyway.
time I'll send someone else.
Oh, good.
I
I'm sorry our company was so bad and so poor.
Yes.
Not all
I
of you.
apologize that my hospitality was so lacking then.
It's not your hospitality, trust me.
It's okay, James. Turn us into 6 angry diplomats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have
Haste is
anything more specific you'd like to hammer out for the proposed taxes then? Clinton?
Maybe just throwing this out there, actually, we probably should agree on a reconvenience time if this is a temporary test.
Let's say, would you rather do 1 year or 5?
How about 500?
that's
I
too long.
propose
You're
a
the
year
only
and
one
a
that
half.
lives that long.
But my citizens also live in that place, do they not?
They do,
It's
but it
too
would
long
quite
for the rest of
impact
us.
everyone in a short time, and unfortunately, not all of us are quite as gifted in the length and the longevity that you all have.
Fair enough.
I propose a year and a half to 2 years.
Could see the 2
I
years.
propose 10
then.
years.
This is a fair point. Does anybody else have a
Counter offer.
suggestion?
Well, in the
I'd
middle
be
is
quite happy
5.
to compromise. Yep, I was there. I'd be quite happy to compromise and meet in the middle to 5 or 6 years.
Well, as I'm being blown over and y'all are making a decision to do it, you do what you wish.
We're not trying to blow over you, but we're also trying to come to a agreement, and you seem content on neither for or against.
Well, right now, yes, because we haven't had time to discuss the outcome. We've merely
How
just
much
stated.
more do you want to discuss?
Well, we've merely.
What
either
precisely
stated
would you like to discuss, actually? Do you have
if
any
I could
specifics?
speak, it would be nice. I've been interrupted 3 times now. But anyway. On the point, we have merely discussed extremes on both ends. Either we tax them and they rebel, or we don't tax them and they leave us behind. That's an extreme on both sides. We've not discussed what happens in between. We've not discussed what happens if we get an influx of money. We've not discussed what happens if we take all of our forces away. We've discussed nothing. We've only just decided to agree on a money swap.
I would like to point out we have discussed what happens on each of the streams, but also in the middle of, for example, this is in the middle. See how it impacts, see how the civilians react, see how everybody reacts. Because if we just assume how things react, well, we've never seen this kind of a mixing pot. Do any of us really claim to have authority on how they would react?
Well, this has been going on for quite a while as it is, and everything's working fine, so we could leave it as it is, and it'd be fine as it is. And then they would leave us behind and suffer on their own and become their own little
Country.
country. Yes, thank you.
And there's that word again, suffer.
Yes, because every country has suffered on their own. Did your people not suffer when the orcs attacked you and took part of your land, or part of my land, or part of the humans' land, or did you not suffer when humans took land over there, or whatever? War happens. Everyone suffers. We all have to suffer to make way. That's just
But
what
these
happens.
people are made up of all of our suffering.
And they will suffer in kind. That's just what happens. To build a country, you have to go through suffering.
Perhaps.
But we don't have to make it right now.
But we're stagnating their growth by taking more of their money and possibilities away,
But
and
that's why it's a
forcing them under our
temporary
will.
measure.
which is nice.
That's why this is a
Believe me.
temporary
I
measure.
didn't think he'd ever stop talking. Still doing same shit?
I
If
apologize.
somebody been pulled away. I
No.
was just making sure. I thought somebody got pulled away.
No, everybody's fine.
I was just
I lost my
severely
train of thought with
confused.
that. Again, I state, We merely discussed extremes, and then we jumped into our own insecurities about everyone else. Nothing was discussed. We
But
merely.
we have discussed
Oh,
it.
we're
Because
just
less
gonna.
of a diplomatic mission and more of a therapy session?
This turned into a lot more of a therapy session and anger management, if I must say so.
It sounds like you want
You
more of a
may.
therapy session if you want us to discuss all our insecurities. I feel
No,
like we
I
have a
to do my job.
probable.
I feel that our insecurities are completely meaningless to this topic of hand.
Exactly. And I want to flesh those out and get rid of them so we can get on to the matter of doing things right.
But
I
they
want to
don't
do
mean
my
anything.
job.
We've all come to a decision except for you. We've all put our differences aside for this, and you keep bringing up new points that we don't need to discuss.
Yes, because I'm good at my job.
Well, Lyndon,
How long have you been
Right.
doing your job?
how about you?
Not as
Why
long
don't
as you, long liver.
Oh,
Hey! I clapped my hands loudly. Okay, now, how about we back away from that? Now then, Lyndon, do you have any specifics for what you'd like to go and flesh out?
I stated those already.
I mean, more actual,
As
specific to the topic.
as I
Taxing
was
them.
trying.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Nope. As I was trying to address some of those, Lord Linden, we discussed a good few of those with this. For example, the mediocre taxes of them taking a smaller punk, and they'd probably grumble and groan and follow along a bit. But that's part of this to see how they react, and that's why we should do this and reconvene later. We were talking about what all of us would do with it. Not everybody had the same thing. Like I myself put forward that we would probably use it to shore up some of our less well-funded organizations. There's quite the quite the number of things that we did bring up. It's just they weren't extensively in detail, and I feel like they got quite washed over with everybody being unhappy
Yes.
with one point or another, or one person or another.
And that's what I was getting at. Points were
But we
flushed
did
over.
discuss them.
Yes, but points were flushed over. We didn't discuss them enough, in my opinion.
Well, then we can meet again in 10 years and we can discuss it more.
10 years is too long.
Not for me.
You're the only one.
Well, that's not a problem of mine if you can't wait that long.
Unfortunately,
We're not
I
waiting
wish
that
to
long.
be rude. I do not wish to be rude, Lady Nishala, but it is a problem of yours because it's a problem of all of ours.
Well, let us at least make some progress in all of this. Do we have any disagreement, really, that we should impose a taxation for a limited amount of time?
I myself quite agreeable to it.
In the benefit of my, for the benefit of my country, no, I do not have a disagreement of getting more money
Okay,
and
so
supplies.
since you were the only one really questionable there, Lord Tom, can you begin to create a document, and we'll fill out the when and when you should next reconvene on the matter after that has been more properly decided upon.
Gladly.
Thank you.
I guess I start to do so then,
Yes,
Eric?
you do so.
Yes, I do so.
You get out your little diplomat stuff and you begin just quilling away.
Rather happily.
Do you mind if we partake in something like a quiet walk again? I'm not much
Yeah.
one for sitting still while you work out the legalities of the document, and then we can sit down and read over all of them.
A short recess then.
Yes, sounds quite good to me.
I have
So
a
you're
book
gonna
that I
have
brought
my
along.
servants-
That sounds good to me. Unless you have your own library, which you probably have some.
We do have some. Do you what? Perhaps I should send my servants to tell you whenever I am done with writing it. Then we can reconvene.
Or just we can say a couple hour break.
That sounds quite good.
Okay.
Good. I go back to writing.
Everyone has 2 hours.
The dwarf is
Well-
not moving from his spot.
I would like to spend my time again taking another walk to the grounds around the place, like because it's quite the nice mansion, and for part of it, I would like to stop into the kitchen to talk to some of them again.
All right.
Just grab somebody that looks like I could talk to about this. I would like to purchase, like I said to, excuse me, Lord Tom at one point, to gather some general like cooking supplies, because I do quite enjoy my food and some ingredients.
So you're looking to grab some food to go?
Food to go would be nice, but at the same time looking more towards ingredients, things like meat, flour, vegetables,
Where their stocks
things
are?
that'll hold.
Uh,
Yeah, just purchase from the stocks.
oh, you want
Grab
to purchase
some
it?
to put out. Huh?
You want to purchase
Well,
some?
it's a little bit. I would assume I have at least some pocket change or something to do so. It's less to be.
Well, let me
it's to
put
be
this
more
out. A
being
couple
rude.
gold is going to go a long way.
Some of the basic stuff, and he can have some of it sent up, and then some of it sent up to the room so he can pack it for himself. A bit
Well,
of each out to wherever they're going, and a bit to up to his room to pack up.
give me a moment to consult with the master, and I'll get back to you. And he runs
Alright,
away.
I'll quite happily wait.
All right. You're writing your document, Tom, and you are bothered by a servant.
Yes?
I'm sorry, my lord, I forgot his name. The human man wants to purchase some
Food? Yes?
yes, supplies.
Yes, he had talked about such. Yes, allow him to do so.
Allow them to do so. Just utilize the rates that double what we paid for or something.
A little overstandard. I had to gouge him for. Yes?
Okay, so a small profit on our parts.
Yes.
Okay. And he'll run off. And then he will return to you standing there in the kitchen and give you a price depending on what it is you're asking for.
Yeah, like I said, just the stuff that I mentioned before, things like some meats, flour, vegetables, things I can cook with.
Okay, he gives you a price. It's obviously a little bit high, but you're also buying it directly from someone's larder.
Exactly. And just give them a little bit of a change, a little bit of tip for their troubles.
He thanks you.
And if I see the guy who I grabbed food from earlier, just wish to give him a little bit too, and just saying it quite slipped my mind earlier. I meant to do this, but I always appreciate people helping.
They accept the extra gold.
Yep. And that's my stuff.
Alright. Okay, a little bit of time passes. Tom, you are once again bothered, but this time by Leland.
Linden.
B. Johnson.
Sure.
Like Linda.
Lord Tom,
Yes?
is there perhaps a way I could get you to step away and we could talk in private for a moment? This is a little bit too open for the discussion I need to have with you.
Well then? Are you going to stop writing and now we go to a small sitting room or something, perhaps?
Wherever you think is the best privacy.
I'm about to end up murdered, aren't I, Eric? Well, let's go.
No comment. You adjourn to a sitting room.
Immediately yourself guilty.
To
The
be
dwarf has no idea. Me, I think I'm about to get murdered, but honorable dwarf there. Continue.
To be entirely frank with you, sir, I am here to form a pact between your people and my people. Specifically. More so than anything else. This agreement is superficial. If it would help benefit you, I will agree to this tax, whatever you need it to be, so long as you agree to sign the pact of helping my people and my people helping yours.
And what exactly does your people need help with? What are you proposing?
From what I understand, and from what I have gathered, the Rakteshian people are planning some sort of attack, whether on mine or someone else, and I would rather not have my people go it alone, and so I'm here to have that pact be signed between
An
my people and
alliance
yours. Yes.
in case of an attack. Give me 1 second. Pause. Wait, where did you put it? Oh, bother. Cash. Dear Cove. What's your country again?
Mine?
Shalia. Shalia.
Cilician.
Sure, you're. Oh, okay.
I'm a halfling.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm looking at the map. Cash, Cilicia, and then Attica. Especially have an asked Atticus, actually. Okay, back to the thing. Well, if they're Akesha planning an attack, my people would be perhaps in the path of their attack. After all, we do span two sides of their people, of their
Yes,
country.
and if we think back on how they
How
got
they
that land,
made.
how they got that land in the
Yes.
first place, it's quite evident, and I don't want a repeat,
Hmm.
nor do my people. So that's the main reason why I'm here.
Do you plan on approaching the Attica?
I was
Attica.
not sent. I was not sent here for that. I was sent here
Hmm.
for you.
Well, if your alliance that you're proposing, plan, would include if they attacked us, that you would
Yeah.
also help us.
Yes, of course.
And an equal alliance in case of an attack. In
Absolutely.
case of their hostilities towards us, I do believe we can come to an arrangement.
That is absolutely what I propose.
Yes.
And I assume, Eric, that I have a piece of paper for him to sign for said pact.
Eric?
Panically. What?
I assume that I have a piece of paper or parchment for him to sign for said pact that I have
Oh,
to get in.
absolutely.
I pull it out and say, if you just sign here, and I'll sign here, and we can form this pact accordingly.
I take the paper and I start reading it. Do you have any? And do your people have any ideas of perhaps what their immediate goals of said attack might be? Where the first
All we,
attack might land?
all we know is that they are planning an attack. Not where, not when, not how. All we know is that they are. Sadly.
I assume that they've started gathering supplies, and that's how you noticed. That would probably be quite noticeable.
I was not given the info there, but I was given the info of their planning something. That's all I know. I
Who else
apologize.
starts rubbing his beard and is looking at this paper?
I would imagine it states equal footing.
Yeah, like Derakus attacked the Dirkov. They still Celica? Celica can help them. Celica is attacked. Dirkov helps them.
Yeah,
So on and so forth, yeah.
yeah.
And Eric, I do have permission to sign something like this, do I? Would I? Eric?
He is typing. Hold on.
There are a lot of things happening right now. Yeah, you more or less do. Yeah, you are a ambassador type.
And this is very easy thing for me to sign then. This is exact very nice thing. And of course if they don't attack, then all amounts to nothing. But in the event of an attack, well, then we're quite prepared.
Well,
Hold on.
the pact
Yeah.
would be between us, whether the attack happens or not, from what I understand.
Indeed.
So
This is
it's
so fucking funny.
it is a good thing for our people.
Oh, yes. The extra protection would go.
And as I
quite
said,
nicely.
my opposition to the plan will
We're
cease.
not well formed yet.
Well, like I said, the opposition to the plan to tax Galadriel will cease. Galadriel was not on my list of things to do today. Hardly at all, in fact. This was.
Very well, then. Pleasure doing business with you, then.
And you as well, good sir. I will take my leave and let you get back to what you were doing.
Very well, then. Shake his hand, and then I go back off to go continue writing up a probable long page.
I will
Or
leave
5.
him alone, but I am going to join him in that area, and I'm going to stay there.
That's just fine. Offer him a
Okay.
drink or something if he wants it.
No, of course, I'll partake in drinks and whatever food you may give me, but he's not going to bother you while writing your document.
Just basic coach stuff. Yeah, guess it's time for the spotlight to fall to somebody else.
Probably have about 40 minutes extra.
Hmm.
If anybody has anything else they want to do. But it seems that the defensive pact has been signed. It just needs to be sent out at some point. Probably with the actual official document.
So we all meet back up to sign it.
Unless anybody has something that they want to do first.
Yeah, I was
No.
going to say one last thing before I
Okay.
started to die. That I
Okay.
was going to have him send my document with his document. I was actually going to say that,
He'll do
but I
it.
started to die. That way I don't get killed on the road and the document is left behind.
Hold on, I might have something. I know that... Okay, wait. Max and Matt's character went off and have been talking to each other, so you might want to do that something now. Like, out loud.
Oh, well, we thought we weren't just doing it. Oh, okay.
Well,
We were just
I wouldn't,
talking
but there's
about
other
it
things
since you said
happening
it
now.
happened.
Okay.
Fair. So, you're coming to find me wherever I'm at.
And what's your name again?
Horace Guildwald.
She's going to come up to him, and she's going to put her hand on his shoulder, and she's going to be like, Horace,
My lady.
Kind of fucking pose
I have
it
something very important to tell you that I've overheard.
Should we perhaps adjourn to a bit more of a private area?
I would prefer that, yes, very much.
Quite happily, let us do so.
Can we go up to my room?
Scandalous.
Oh.
Oh. The servants will be talking about this for months.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least they might be happy with me. So,
You gave them
Lady
free money.
Nishala,
why
what
wouldn't
is
they
it
be
that
happy
you
with
wish to bring up?
There seems to be two people that are wanting to sign a treaty that leaves the rest of us out of it. They wish to go to war.
That's quite the bold statement. Do we know why this is arising, or what the parties are doing?
Are they the gnomes? Not the gnomes. The
The ones
Halfling
that were talking
dwarf.
were the halflings and dwarves.
halflings and the orcs are wanting to work
Dwarves.
together.
Dwarves,
Dwarves.
not orcs.
Dwarfs.
Sorry, my bad.
And you believe they are gearing up for war?
The halflings for sure are gearing up for war. I do not know if the dwarves signed the treaty or not. I left as soon as I heard. I felt like I needed to inform you faster than I needed to listen to what was going on. But I do know that they are preparing for war and they are not involving us, and that could make our whole situation fall. Our treaty that we all have together could be in ruins.
That would be quite the disastrous day, I might add. Do we know who they're preparing against and what the trigger of this is?
Someone is planning to attack them, but I don't remember. I didn't hear who. But they are wanting to work together against whoever that is. And I'm afraid that if they start war, if they start to fight, that it will make everything that we've worked for crumble.
Well, I can quite assuredly assume that it's not the gnomes they are preparing for war against. That leaves us in Attica, your people, and Raktash.
And I do not wish to be at war.
Neither do I. Going to war would be quite bad for most people in general.
I don't think any of us are ready for war. I don't think that that would be better for anybody.
I quite agree with you on the statements, though. I don't think anybody would, right now, would particularly benefit, especially since we all have at least a mutual interest to see through, at the least.
Our whole purpose here, to come here, was to create peace.
Well, we were less of a peace, I will say, on this, with more of a taxation, but I do agree we should at least endeavor to maintain it.
The country that the state that we are trying to build and that we want to flourish will not flourish if there is war across the land.
Perhaps not, perhaps it may. I mean, you might find how resilient he'll just gesture to the callous around all of our combined efforts would be in a small city like as that, because it's doing quite well, but like I said, I'm quite excited to see how this goes for this place. This is history we're happening since we get to see what happens when we intermingle, and I wish for it to succeed, and this would hurt those.
I lived for a very long time, and it's been a long time since I've seen a place with such potential.
It'll change many things if it actually reaches a country status.
The boundaries that we are standing on are very, very balanced at the moment, and if we take one leg away from it, it's all going to crumble.
I have a proposition that after we have signed the taxation agreement, we bring it up in general, not throw accusations at a specific party, because that is one way to very much cause hostility.
I do not want to cause hostility. I just wish to remain at peace.
So I wish to bring up that the fact that this is happening under the noses and under false guises. This was a meeting of trust. And hopefully agreement between us all. And on one hand, we seem to have reached one agreement, but it sounds like we are preparing for a much larger disagreement.
And the larger disagreement scares me more than anything else.
I say we hold it till we have signed the document and then just bring it up in general, the points of what's happening.
I agree, the document has to be signed first.
Wish to say this with the very respectful terms, as I understand from your point of view, we are very frustrating and it's easy to get angry. But do try to maintain a calm during this, because throwing anger and rage or insults will not help our cause here.
Hi.
I will do
Hello.
my best.
Oh god.
That is all I can ask.
Oh god.
What?
I am a dog. Hi. Oh god. You're killing me. Don't.
Well, on that note,
Gross.
I suppose we should adjourn until then to try to
The
keep
dog was laying on my
appearances at
throat.
least out non-suspicious.
I suspect that we should go back separately.
Quite agreed. And as he walks towards the door, before he stops, he's turning back and goes, I understand I came to smooth things over. We ended up a bit hostile with each other's beliefs. But I truly did mean the best of intentions. I understand you wish for things not to change, but unfortunately the world changes.
I shouldn't have judged you for that. The actions and wrongdoings of a few humans do not define all humans.
That's quite so.
Aw,
Judging the few,
no.
judging the majority over the few is not the best decision, but you guys, you're not the only one to have made that mistake before. just try to keep in mind that as much as things should stay the same, sometimes they will change, and we have to be ready.
And I will bring that up to my fellow people.
And I thank
But
you.
I will not guarantee that they will listen.
Oh, I quite expect many of them won't. But if you all are ever up for a talk on things again, at the minimum, I and will be willing to listen and try to convince the others to do so in my respective kingdom.
Thank you.
Very welcome, and thank you for bringing us and trying to help maintain this peace we have. And he will leave.
And she's just gonna stay in her room for a little bit to not like arouse suspicion.
Okay, over there with Tom, very suddenly your sitting room door has a very heavy knocking on it.
Holmes does?
Yes.
Come in.
You say come in, the door is kind of rather violently opened, and you see a guard walk in and angrily dragging along what appears to be a waitstaff member, or a member of your waitstaff.
Oh dear. Whatever's the matter.
Well, Saryan, remember how you mentioned that there was something wrong with one of the dishes earlier?
Yeah?
Well, we've found some incriminating evidence in this one's possessions.
Such as his eyes focusing a bit more on them.
The gloves that they used whenever they were preparing the desserts, they were tainted with some sort of poison.
Dun dun dun! Have you interrogated them at all? Or did you come straight here?
They were asked some questions, but they seemed to be rather defiant because, well, they know what the penalty is for attempted assassination.
Okay, Eric, what is the standard? Not the standard punishment, that's obviously death, but I mean the standard, how would they go about
Methodology?
doing this?
Well, given your castle, they could just toss them off of somewhere high, or put them on a stump and remove their brain case.
Actually, I meant more for finding out, interrogating them.
Toss them in a horrible room and asking questions really violently.
Torture
So
cells.
have they already done that though, or they just asked a few questions?
Say what?
Have they already done that though?
They already have.
Hmm.
That's how they know for sure that they were the one that prepared the desserts and all that other stuff.
Did they give you any clues about who put them up to this? Or did you find any clues about who put them up to this?
They wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't even admit to doing it. But everything points to it.
Maybe it's just were they the quarters? Or?
Their quarters. What about them? Have we been looked through them, or?
Yes, if you look through them, yes.
I'm in here with them, right?
Yes, yes you are. Please
thought
speak
so.
up.
No,
Speak
I'm
up, please.
no, I'm good. This is your doing, not mine.
I am flailing in the dark.
Give me just
Please
a moment.
help me. What'd you say?
Eric said, "Give me just a minute."
Oh dear. Our attempted assassin is about to go and be assassinated.
He's fine.
You're gonna chew a cyanide pill, he is.
I have to get this little bit of information. I'm sorry for the holdup.
Oh,
Take your
fuck.
time.
PS4 is gonna turn herself off. That's no good. Go back on.
No, you're
There we
good.
go. What?
Give me just a minute. I'm waiting.
It's fine. It's fine.
We playing spy games.
They're playing spy games. I'm just trying to get them to agree to something. And I've done so. I just need to get these idiots to sign it.
You're playing diplomat games.
Yes, I am. I am trying to herd cats.
You're trying to play a diplomat's game. in a fucking room full of spies.
Yes, I am.
I am an ambassador,
Oh
sir.
my fucking god.
Well, of course, I'm just a diplomat.
Everyone is.
Of course we are.
I'm also a diplomat.
We all are.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's funny how often the two things that we're thinking of coincide, isn't it?
I'm not. I'm not going to look over at my wife's.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Can I point out I love how this is what this game came into, and 90% of it was us bickering over taxes.
I'm honestly surprised it didn't end up turning like a murder mystery, to be honest.
It almost was. I too smart.
Me spell wrong.
That's okay.
Let me check something, and then I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision. Where is it?
That's the hard part of this kind of game sometimes.
Where do you put the blame?
Where do you do all of this?
God damn it.
I still think Hope tried to kill me.
Spell dumpster right.
Why? Yeah, I'm really quiet.
That's the
Your voice
reason.
doing that is what makes me think you tried to kill me.
Okay, but during our Star Wars shit, I'm still silent. Fuck. So that makes no sense. I'm always quiet.
Wait, yeah, but your
Context.
voice doesn't do that squeaky.
Listen, it was actually me.
What? Was it really?
Was it?
I don't know. I think it was Hope. Or do I? Dun dun dun.
Right, whenever we were investigating our quarters, we actually found a letter with some gold in it from Bellanue.
One moment.
That's the elven place.
Oh, Elven place.
I always
Okay.
won.
It wasn't the elf whose dessert that was poisoned.
I don't care about all the spycraft those individuals get up to, but we got a member of your staff trying to poison people. What do we do with them?
Well, he's tried to assassinate someone. Which would be the standard punishment.
Alright then,
Obvious
sir.
choice.
They'll be removed.
Unless you have any objections as to James a Halfling, yes? Who's Lyndon?
It's none of my concern what you do with your staff.
Although we should
I
probably
will-
go and bring this up. We probably wait to execute him until after we bring this up.
Yes, I was going to suggest waiting on
Yes.
lopping off the man's head before we leave.
Now then. How far am I away from being done, Eric?
Well, people keep interrupting you, but you probably can get it done in about half an hour.
Okay then. I'll guard him then and make sure he isn't killed until the proper time. Which will be after us. We might need to interrogate him again.
Leave them until all your guests leave? That's fine.
Yes. Yeah, then.
Then they walk away into the dark, cold, and wet parts of the castle.
Okay, then.
Eggs.
So, they found. Wait, did they find elven gold or just a letter from the elves?
Letter from
What did
the
they find again?
elves, some gold, it's all the same, sadly.
What did the letter say, though?
Well, there's no particular well, it's basically a poison X's and then the thing that was poisoned.
So, they specifically poisoned the elves' dessert, then.
Yes.
So,
Plot
Lyndon,
twist. My people tried to kill me because they hate me so much.
Yes.
the elves
Lord
try to have
Bob.
their ambassador killed. Do you suppose that there's a specifically attempt to go and kill her? Or do you think there was perhaps an attempt to have one of us, blamed for killing the ambassador?
If I may be so frank, since we're sitting here alone,
You may.
I doubt very seriously that the elves tried to kill one of their own. It was more than likely one of ours. Or one
What
of
do you-
us. And I
What did
can
you make of the letter? Sorry.
framing or what such have you. Forgeries are common. Everything is weird. But again, if you believe me, I may attest to my own innocence in this matter. I don't want the elf dead. I don't want to start a war.
Having the elf die would do neither of us any good.
I want to keep a war from happening.
And us. And the orc would probably have more to gain by having you die. Or me die, honestly.
More than
Than
likely.
having the elf die.
Probably me, to be completely honest. But then again,
Yes.
they may have wanted to kill them. And
Yeah.
blame it
No.
on us.
Yes. I have no idea about the human, though.
To be frank, the human seems uninteresting.
And their countries are on the opposite sides of the continent. So, not exactly much to do there. No, maybe?
Any other bits of chaos?
The gnome is a good possibility. He may hate elves, I don't know, but again, it's neither here nor there. Their plan obviously failed.
And the country is right next to it. Just a function of eliminating those that makes sense.
But
Oh
again,
well. It
what
failed.
would they gain from killing someone here at a diplomatic meeting, besides war? And that's the one thing we should all try to avoid.
Indeed.
Which is why I signed the pact with you. But anyway,
It failed, so it matters not.
we can figure that out later.
Indeed. Oh well, so I'm gonna go and try and finish this thing so we can just time skip.
As far as I know.
Time skip, yay!
Unless anybody has something else, in which case, speak so now.
Nope. Think I've used my time up.
Alright,
I'm good.
so, some time passes, it hits the 2-hour mark, everybody re-adjourns in the dining area.
Ah,
Well,
happy to see we've all about to set off a good mark, I think, for our country, our
Indeed.
countries, and Galadrius.
I put the papers on the table so everybody can go and read them and everything.
You do know that the proposal requires a signature from everybody attending.
Yes.
All right, just I guess give it a scan over to make sure there's nothing shady, hidden, loophole.
It all seems to be as he proposed.
Okay, then I will sign it.
I will
Yeah.
also sign.
I will give it a glancing look and then sign it.
Are we in the evening, by the way?
It's about noonish.
Okay.
I've obviously signed it.
Hendrik will sign it.
Has the orc signed it? I don't think so.
Oh,
I think like 4 of us have signed.
We all have.
Okay, so everybody signed it, yes?
Yes.
Okay then.
Yes.
I clap my hands. Wonderful.
And I wish to take my cane in both hands. I wish to just tap it on the floor. May I have everyone's attention, please?
For our duty here is
Action.
done. What do you need to speak of?
I just wish to say a couple words.
Have at it.
It has come to my attention that there has been a side deal going on here while we were here, and that is against what we came here to do.
Is it? Is that so?
She looks
Handle
around.
it.
She looks around and she goes, "We came here to discuss one thing, and it has come to my attention that another deal has been made on the side that could possibly ruin the stability of." I keep forgetting what it's called.
Galadrius.
Coalition?
I actually don't
Demetrius.
have a
Yeah, no.
name for the continental landmass. I'm sorry.
But
Okay.
she was
Oh
talking
my.
about
Yeah, I know. It's a huge oversight.
What an immense accusation.
If I
Do
may,
you... Go ahead.
we have all met together. Our countries have, well, not made an alliance per se. We have at least an agreement that we made when we made Galadrius, when we founded the colony. And the peace that has ensued with it has been quite honestly
prosperous.
wonderful. And he'll just pull, like, just at this point looking kind of like saddened by things and like running his hand through his hair on occasionally and just, I came here quite excited with all this. As I pointed out, my interest in this is great, but under these pretenses, people have been brought forth to prepare for war.
I know nothing of preparing
I am
for
not-
war.
Bringing up, I will not throw any accusations at countries. But this peace has been a gift, and I wish to continue it.
I agree.
So to those who are looking to break this, please reconsider. Because depending on how you act, you very well could destroy everything we have set up here and your own countries in the process.
To add on to
And
his
we've
point,
worked very hard to keep the peace.
to add on to their point, agreements such as, from what I did you say what it was? What kind of agreement it was?
I merely just pointed out that there is an agreement being met to prepare for war.
Agreements such as
I do not
that
know the specifics.
will, while initially harmless, do make others do the same. Which escalation does lead to utilization.
Which is why I'm bringing this up now, that I'm asking very dearly that those who intend to do so reconsider.
War creates more war, and we do not wish to bring our children into war.
And if it's of any persuasion, at least for the sake of the colony that we have all worked for, of the expansion we have all put our time, our effort, our money, our blood, our sweat, our tears, our own races on the line for.
To put it frankly, we've already all agreed on what we're doing with Galadrius, and our jobs here are done.
Indeed.
Oh yes, quite so. And this is not just about Galadrius though anymore.
On the contrary, it's about something much bigger. If there is war, there may not be any that place.
Because I imagine it would become a tug of war of who owns it at that point.
And then we will all not get the equal share that we came here to get. Someone will end up in power, and I do not think it'll be who you think it will be.
Oh my. That sounds so.
Well, as I stated, I have no interest in making war, and never will. Again, my people are neutral.
Hmm.
Just
Ow.
to everybody involved, this is not something we wish to go through again. I understand your point of view, Lord Linden. Like I said, I'm not throwing accusations. Linden. I said Linden, right? That's the
Linden.
first one. Sorry,
It's Linden.
Eric's starting to get me fucking it up too.
I mean, to be fair, everyone but Max was fucking it up from the get-go, so...
I've been saying Linden for the most part
I
I think
just
I was
think-
until I
saying
kept hearing Leland, and then it got me fucked up. But
I just think of the name Linda.
Anyway,
I
if,
just wish to bring this to our attention.
if all
I
of
will
that...
say there's somebody who hasn't spoken up quite yet. Shigar, what do you think?
Like I said before, I don't have quite an opinion on anything.
Gotta speak up
You're
a
very
little
much
bit there,
cutting
Hope.
out.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to talk up.
As said, yes, other arguments. I do not have quite an opinion on anything. I'm here to do as I was told, directed by my higher up.
Hmm.
Were you
So-
told to allow war?
We lost Max.
Max, we
did
lost
lose
you.
Max.
Quite inciting words, she
Might
said.
I ask this? Disregarding your orders, disregarding this will stay here. I do not wish to cause problems. Do you personally wish for a war?
Absolutely not. Though I am one for fighting, I prefer more of fighting with rules, such as like tournament something.
Gladiatorial
War?
events are quite fair.
War has no rule, so we prefer not to have it. At least in where I grew up, that we don't consider war to have rules. I don't know about my entire clan, just quite area I've grown up.
Then it seems that we have a common problem. I do not wish for war, and you do not wish for war because of the rules. But some people here are wanting to bring war to us, and that is a problem.
Then if
You're
some
mistaken.
You speak such inciting words, sir.
And
It is an
accusing
exciting
words.
issue there, Lord Tom.
Again, no one here wishes for war.
Indeed.
Yet the
yet-
problematic thing has been war is being prepared for in one way or another.
if they're saying some pact has been
Amnesties have
formed,
already been signed.
something has been signed,
Something has been signed.
then whichever
Oh,
parties it
wow.
is that would control that document should bring it forth and destroy it before the group.
Hmm.
I agree.
Indeed.
If you have nothing to hide, if there is no war, then you will allow us to see the document. If you can't let
That
us see
sounds
it, then
different.
what?
What did you say, Hope?
For some reason on my end, Max sounds different.
She's echoing a little bit, like
I
on
was
her
in a
own.
different room.
Okay,
I was in a smaller room.
that's fine.
If I may be so bold as to ask, how do you know of these accusatory things you're saying? You're the one bringing it up.
I'm an elf.
Indeed.
I have good hearing.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
but we'll have to go off a little bit more than just your hearing.
I also followed you because I wanted to talk to you, and I accidentally overheard you talking.
And there goes
Follow
our
me without the
anonymous.
knowledge.
I
Hmm.
think at this point there was no anonymity left.
It's one thing to assume and another to accuse, though.
Yes. Indeed.
So if you guys really do not have a problem with what's in the document, if it's not going to cause war, you can allow us all to look over it.
Well, again, it's not for war. It's for defense, so sure. You can see the defense pact. And he pulls it out of his bag and opens it up and holds it up for people to read.
I'd rather you lay it on the table.
You can see
No.
it in my hands.
I made it quite clear that you are against this for whatever reason.
I'll happily let him hold it and read it, if that's okay with you, Lord Linden.
I am
Damn
holding
it,
it.
Eric!
You can read it.
Listen, Linda.
He is holding it up above his head.
Okay,
And
I'll
Max is
happily
looking
just
wrong 'cause I
take a
heard her
scan
talk.
over to check it.
It's a defense pact against the orcs.
And
The orcs
afterwards,
are
I
very
will
good.
just turn to him and I thank you for cooperation, Lord Linden. I tried to let anonymity stand, but
She's quite.
it's quite understandable how things go, though. This is a very heavy topic.
As I
I
said,
do wish to ask, what is Lady Shigar's defense against this?
Yeah,
You
so
might
I
not
would like
have
to
any
know
defense.
what
You
I
might know
did.
nothing.
She might
You
not,
might not.
but
you
it's
might
worth
not have done
asking.
anything. You might not have done anything at all. You might know nothing about this.
I have
It
no
could happen. It
problem.
could not.
Again, I have no problem with anyone. I have no problem with you, Lady Sugar. But the fact remains that something is happening and stirring, and my people are concerned. So
And the fact remains that
we
you are
sought out
preparing for
allies.
battle against her.
We are not. We are not preparing for battle. We are setting up a defense pact. As you can read right here, and he shows you the line. We are setting up a defense pact that, in case anything happens, we will suit each other's needs. Do you remember what happened the last time the orcs rose up?
And why couldn't you bring that upon the whole
No.
group?
Because I was told not to. I'm following my orders.
if I
And
may,
quite frank. Yes.
No, you don't.
yeah, no. This type of arguing that's currently happening is exactly why I said what I said before. Even defense pacts in our current situation are a bad idea because it starts to form alliances. I believe that
Which-
document should be destroyed.
No.
I agree.
I wish to look over at Lord Hendrick, and I just, yes, I agree. All documents should be destroyed for defense pacts.
He
I
doesn't.
If you guys
apologize.
wish to
but
make
that would go-
pacts, it would be outside of this setting.
I do
And
apologize.
not when
And
we're all here.
if I
What the
may,
hell is that?
I have let you speak quite enough. But I apologize. I am here to do a job. My people are scared. I am only going to do that job, and I will not be destroying any documents. And he rolls it up.
And
puts
if
it
I
back in
bring-
his bag.
And if I bring back the information that you guys signed a document, my people will be afraid.
Exactly.
It's inflammatory actions all around, and I think
You
we've all agreed just now that that is exactly what we were trying to avoid.
And I feel that is quite, don't mean
Especially offensive as to Lady Shigar.
yes, as a
And if Cigar's
Right.
people do nothing, then nothing shall be done.
Exactly.
It is not an offensive pact. It is a defensive pact.
Yes, that is
Although
the
you
writing.
say
You have
that-
to be careful of your accusations.
We have made
It's
no
written like-
accusations.
You
The
have.
only accusations that have been made by Lady Elf, who has been repeatedly attempting to make it seem as if we
No.
were preparing to be an aggressor to the rest of the people.
She did
Before we
state
continue,
that we
can we
would be
ask-
starting war, and I am not of that.
Just because you
Question.
don't see it that way doesn't mean that others will not.
My voice carries weight. I,
wish
don't
to
know if yours
interrupt.
does, but mine does.
Lady Shigar was trying to speak, and we have all quite rudely talking over her.
I'm sorry.
Of course, let her speak.
Although you say defense pack, I am not sure where you have gotten information of me or any of my people are going to do something that will cause you fright. But either way, that feels very. Don't mean throw around ism words, but that feels very racist.
Well, let
There's
me
also the
reassure you
consideration-
now. Well, let me
Sorry.
reassure you now that as long as no attacks are made, then there shall be no offensive acts from us.
I can't
And
help
if
but
a rogue
feel
actor-
like this is going nowhere.
Not.
If there is no or if this cannot be agreed upon, there is always another option. Whomever feels most strongly on either side, there is the option of a duel.
I would prefer not to. That will just add to the problem making it like one or the other is more violent than the other, causing more hatred towards each other.
It would, but once you
But
let the
if
gods
that's our only
decide,
option,
then it
then
stops
that's the
their
only
pact from
option we
going
have.
through.
Ooh,
In the worst part.
two people talked.
Go
What,
ahead.
what
Quite
did, hold on, two people talked. I didn't get them.
I will say it this way. This is for my people. Number one,
And if a
You-
rogue. Sorry,
you-
I didn't realize you paused. Sorry.
entered into my privacy when I was having a conversation with the lord of this manor alone. And you eavesdropped on a conversation that you had no privy to know about. Which
There
is
is
an
no law
affront to
against
me.
eavesdropping.
Which is an affront to me. Number one.
Right.
It is wrong. Number two, if I may speak of what happened earlier, Lord of the House.
You may.
You were the one poisoned, or nearly poisoned, today. Not I.
I'm aware.
So I'm not going to stand here and bullshit around and beat around the fence about it. Something is happening on the sidelines. This is for my people's safety. That is what we were worried about.
Your
But how
people's...
do I know that you didn't try to poison me?
And I have to say that your people's safety does not warrant an escalation of violence across all of us.
And also,
Am
your
I being
people's
violent?
safety doesn't mean that our people does not matter.
Quite
Can I
frankly, Lady
propose
Elf,
something?
his. So I'm going to say this real quick. It's your accusation of that he might have tried to poison you. He has absolutely nothing to gain from that. So that is
How do
ludicrous.
I know?
And because he
I
has
don't know
literally
any of
nothing
you
to gain
guys.
from it.
I don't know any of you. All I know is that my life was put at risk.
And you now
Yes.
believe that
Under
to have
your
been the
watch.
halfling. Or Lyndon. Sorry.
Let us take a step back here. It's a defense
I-
pact. What happens if a rogue group of orcs makes a move? Or any of Reptesh makes
Then
a
they
move
will be
rogue
found
without the
out.
consideration?
They will be found out as a rogue group, and we will deal with them accordingly as a rogue group and not attack the country as a whole. We are not dumb. As
There's
much
quite
as
a difference
Unfortunately-
between a rogue group attacking an entire country attacking.
It's too
I'm
dangerous.
Not for inflammatory action.
Quite frankly,
sorry,
I
if
just
a
wish
rogue
to
group of orcs
assure
attack,
things.
we could most likely the government of Rakesh would most likely want to deal with the rogue group just as much as we would.
there,
If you
there will
don't
be
mind, Lord of the
open.
House, may I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What are you getting out of this? What is the benefit that's coming to you?
If the orcs attack the, hold on, give me a second. These fucking people. I keep
If
forgetting
the
what fucking
orcs attack him, then my people will defend his. If the orcs attack us, his people will defend mine.
Have the
It's
orcs
quite
talked about
straightforward.
attacking him?
No, but movements have been made. From all accounts that I have understood, the orcs are preparing for something aggressive.
And you trust
And
your
you're talking
information.
about me making accusations, but
Dear
here you
God.
are making serious accusations.
And
The
Dierkov
To answer you, Mr. Hendrick, the information comes from my higher ups, so I have no choice but to trust the information.
And I have no
Always
choice but to
question
not let
things.
you leave here.
Please, let's not rise to this sort of agreement. It won't bring anything but the very thing we're trying to avoid.
A
Tom
duel
is
will
sitting in
Duels,
his
avoid...
chair, just holding
duels
one of his heads
officially
to the side.
end when they end.
Exactly.
But do you think
Yeah,
it'll stop
and-
them from actually ending, starting something else?
It stopped it in the
Not like
past.
this. Do not
I
like this
doubt it
conflict
passed.
amongst this
The
table.
world has changed a lot since then, and with this new colony, this new place, there's a whole new reason to go to war.
I'd rather an honorable duel than someone sneaking
That
around our
honor-
backs.
I do appreciate that sentiment, but that honorable duel will mean nothing when the countries go to war.
Now then,
And
Keep
no
in mind-
offense,
The matter
But
of the
keep in
day has been
mind-
settled. Yes, it's about taxes. You have already made your attempt to have us burn and destroy the pact. We've refused.
The taxation
Has
document is
anyone had
done.
anything else?
We cannot, as a group, allow that pact you have made to progress, though.
Quite frankly, you have no choice in the matter.
No,
I
that's
believe
not
that there are
true.
many that would disagree to that.
I have an alternative.
Say it.
You
We
do
can
not.
all sign the same pact.
No, we
There we
can't,
go.
by definition.
Shush. If we all sign this defense pact, if one of us raises a fist against the other, we all come to the defense of
the-
that one.
We are currently under that right now.
Yes,
is
we are
exactly-
currently under that, so your document
Wrong.
means nothing. Plus, your whole document is against the orcs, who we
It
have a
is in
representative
case-
right here.
Yes. And
Which
it
would
is
make
in
it hard
case
for
of
me to
hostilities.
Fine.
Why would she sign it if it's against her?
I said against hostilities. I have no qualms with Shagar.
We have an agreement. We have an agreement right now against hostility.
and
In
it's
favor of
being
the colony.
and
No,
it's
we
being-
have a favorable agreement to not attack anyone.
In
yes.
for the colony.
Not
not
even, it's
we
it's
want
not just the
people to be
colony, is it,
general.
Eric?
It
It's
is
not just
No.
for the
yes.
colony.
Is this
It-
agreement on paper?
It is.
Like the
Unfortunately.
agreement between everybody. Not just the one that he has. The agreement with everybody on paper.
It
Not,
has.
and it's technically null and void.
It has been rectified a while ago.
Yeah.
And that's why
That-
everybody currently isn't at war with each other.
Just, I ask you to reconsider your document because that is indirect. That alone violates the spirit of the agreement. The spirit of the agreement we all made to stay at peace.
I mean, to be frank with you, none of your people, none of you would have known anything if the elf would have left well enough alone. Nothing would have been
There's-
done. We wouldn't
If
have
there's
There's
no-
no law against eavesdropping.
Oh,
There's no
no
law
attack.
against listening.
I'm having so much
There's no-
anxiety.
Guys,
nothing.
ladies,
Lord.
lords. First of all, Lord Lyndon, if you are making accusations of this, some will find out. It's how the manner
I'm
goes as
not
much as I wish
making any
secrets spread.
accusations. I am
You
doing
just have.
my job.
By making
Lord
a pact
Lyndon.
against a specific
Responsibility.
country, you have made
It
an
may happen,
accusation.
it may not. If it does not happen, nothing happens.
Lord
Now,
Lyndon,
What
if
else?
I may, do not call me elf, please.
You've lost my
But
respect.
But if I may, can I settle this with a duel? If I win,
I will
the
not
document
fool you.
dies.
I will
Are you
not fool you.
afraid? Are you
I am a
afraid?
half. I am a neutral partner in this. I do not fight people for brash brutality. It's pointless.
If you are neutral, then why are you signing an agreement against all of us?
If you wish
We're
it duel
already
so
under an
badly,
agreement.
To
Yeah.
wish
stay
it to obey. He bangs his hand on the fucking table. If you wish to duel so badly, you should face the champion then. It's neither set out as I am rather elderly and not a fighter. If you wish to duel, you should face yourself champions then, yes?
But if I win against yours, is the document going to be destroyed? Because that's the only reason I will duel.
document was signed for my people to stay neutral.
But if a duel is happening over the potential destruction of the document, if she wins that duel, that document must go by all laws of honor.
May I say quick?
Please talk.
Oh, you
Please.
Technically, this document should be only between people who have been signed on the document and the people that are towards the document. As the
Okay, can
Lord,
someone tell what you said? I
and
can't
me.
hear.
technically, the only people that this document should be discussed over is me and those that have signed if that document is about strictly my people. If
We-
it is not, then it's technically nobody's problem besides the people who have signed.
We all have a stake
Unfortunately,
in
it
this.
is because
Yes.
it violates our treaty. It's a collective
not
treaty.
It
violate
that
does
was
not
agreed.
affect
It does not.
you though.
It does.
It does not.
No, it does not.
How?
It is not open hostil. It's not an open hostility treaty. We are. My people are allowed to make our own decisions. We are not some group thing. We are our own kingdom. I'm allowed to, on the behalf of my people, make a pact with another group of people to help each other.
Talking continues to get us nowhere.
I am
Lord
in
Tom.
agreement with the orc, in fact, right now.
Have you a champion?
Got my
Fighting is
god.
not the answer as well.
Mayhaps
As much
not,
as I agree. As much as I
but
agree, Lady Shigar does not seem they're willing to let it go with that.
I will gladly be a representative and go to the orc people and discuss of this.
Lady
And
Nashala,
if they
do you wish to compete in this duel?
There will be no duel.
This
Fighting
is-
is not the answer.
Sadly, though, the duel is between them. We can only watch it.
We must observe.
I'm sorry. I do not wish to insult you, but my life has been put on the line this time, and I wish
Yes,
to
do you
duel.
want to know who that do you want to know who wrote the letter to have your life ended?
I
Yes.
do not wish to know.
You
Your
still
own
think you
people.
might.
Your own people are the ones who sent the servant the letter to poison your dessert.
How do you know that?
Because the guards found the letter on the person.
Forgery is quite common, if I may point out.
Well,
And
that
everybody
may be
knows the
so.
elfish language.
That may be so. But this is the evidence we have.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows the I, myself, do not.
I know a little, but I didn't see the letter.
I did not find it necessary to learn such a language when all I'm surrounded by are nothing but, orcs.
It's
They're such charming people, aren't they?
it's a specific matter. You are contesting something that the orc representative herself is saying leave it alone. Which defeats the purpose in my mind, but okay. I will travel with this orc woman back to her people and talk to them about it. On behalf of mine, while having this pact sent just in case I die on the road.
Oh no,
That
I
is
don't
the
like that.
purpose of this.
Or how about you guys redo the pact after you talk to her people? Why does
If
the pact
pact-
need to be signed right now?
If
Pact has already been signed.
if the talk with the people goes extremely well and everything is figured out and fleshed out, I will personally put my reputation on the line to have it destroyed. And again, my word carries weight. I state again, I want my people to stay neutral, and my people want more than anything to be neutral. We do not want the orcs to go to war with us again.
Out of character, I'm just going to apologize ahead of time for this because I really need to go to bed because I have work tomorrow. I'm going to stab him.
Oh,
Oh dear.
I'm going to take my cane and I'm going to hit a button and it turns into a trident and I'm going to stab him.
I yell for the guards.
Roll for stab. At 3.
Roll for stab. 4.
At 3. 7. There's no way you can dodge. You are stabbed.
I yell for the guards, and I take my dagger and attack her then.
I just wish to sigh.
Okay
and just
then.
mutter to myself, so they act like this, and
Tom?
walk off.
And Max's character's name that has Nashala. Roll for stab. This is open combat. You get a 3.
I rolled a 6.
Well, she can
You get a
roll.
+3.
No, he doesn't get a +3. She does.
No, she does, I thought.
No, she does.
Why does she get a
I got
+3?
6.
Because she has a stabbing weapon. After the
Of
+3?
course.
I got 6.
After the +3?
Yes.
Okay, roll again.
Okay, hold on.
She gets advantage? Wonderful.
I got
No.
6 again.
You roll again, Dylan.
I also got a 6.
Roll again.
Shit! Parry, parry, parry.
Fuck. 4. What'd you get?
I mean, the guards are
5.
coming, so
You are
5.
stabbed.
Okay. Okay, so the guards are coming, and there are guards about.
They are coming, and it is bad for her at this point in time, but you are also stabbed.
Am I dead?
I wish
Wait.
to take the document and I wish to rip
You
it.
can't yet.
Yeah,
I
Lyndon.
have my special app.
And-
I have my special thing. Yes.
Ian is talking.
Lyndon and Tom both appear to succumb to their wounds.
Hell yeah.
Eric,
And now guards.
I just wish to point that out to you.
So, what'd you do, Max? Huh?
I'm going to rip up the document.
So you're
And I
going to come
stop
over
her.
to me and get over to me? I stab you
Sure.
then.
Hold on.
You've succumbed to your wounds.
I'm not.
you said.
No. You do have a thing, Dylan, but hold on.
Ah.
It's not quite the same spell. Okay, so. Not Sorsha.
Ooh.
Nashala,
Shall
No one else can help me.
you walk over to his body, find the document, and rip it up.
I said
She
I
wanted
wanted to
to.
stop
The orc
her.
wanted to stop her.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to stop her?
yeah.
Roll to stop.
That
D6.
seems counterproductive.
I
Productive.
told you, the orc didn't want you to do this, and you did it anyway.
Everything kicked off.
Well, I'm sorry. I need to go to
Everything
bed
picked
because I
up.
have to be at work really early tomorrow, and you guys wouldn't give up.
Come on. Calm down.
Why would
Don't
we?
yell.
So much fun.
D6
Instead
straight,
of being
both of you.
violent, you could have dropped the point.
Say
I
what?
got a 6.
Okay, so 6 versus.
Oh, I'm supposed to roll?
Yes.
No +3 this time, unless you stab her.
I got a 6 too.
Roll again.
On the die, no +3 this time.
Yeah, I know. I got a 6 on the die,
Okay, making sure.
and I got a 3 this time.
I had a 5.
You successfully tackle Nashala as she's going over to his body.
Hope so. I'm a giant.
Fucking hell, man.
The gnome is going to sneak over there and rip up the document.
What?
Hell
The
yeah.
gnome?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
It's
yeah.
almost fine.
Because what you people?
This is ridiculous, but it's fine.
You people just probably just caused a fucking war. I hope you know this.
Oh no, it absolutely is.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. I mean,
Honestly, I
you-
don't give a shit.
we got that.
Out of character, I need to go to bed.
You could have
Out of
relinquished
character,
the
you've been
point.
trying to cause a war the entire time.
That's not my objective. Don't put words into my mouth.
Listen, there could have been a duel.
People.
This has been
Can we
extremely
just-
fun
There
for
could
me.
Can
have
we-
been a duel.
Hey,
Yes.
can we stop arguing about that could have been and continue on with what is happening?
Eric, have I gotten back up yet?
No, not yet.
So
have
am
the
I still
guards
on the
arrived
ground
yet?
tackled?
They have, and they find your assailant tackled.
And they don't see the door, their lord, you know, kind of bleeding out.
Oh, no, you're.
Or the other guy bleeding out.
He's. The halfling's gone.
Halfling's dead.
I know the halfling's dead, but I mean, I'm dead. The other guy's bleeding. Should they be coming over to us at least to uncheck?
They're going that way, yes.
Remember, stuff happens in very quick intervals when they do alternating turns.
Yes, I mean, there should be
There.
guards about stuff like that.
Is Matt's character doing something? Real quick?
I
left
sent you that message. I told you I sighed and walked away,
Okay.
muttering stuff about at least everybody, the choices everybody's made.
Alright then.
Oh, Eric's the one who was doing things to me.
Yes.
So, did Eric steal the thing and take it then?
It
Sorry
has
then.
already been destroyed.
Yes. It was for pointless. And now
What?
war is going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So what happens to me?
You're going to fucking
Get
die.
arrested.
Either arrested or, you can.
Hey, that's
Die.
attempted assassination. It was an assassination. You killed a fucking halfling.
You killed the ambassador to the halfling people. You attempted to kill the ambassador to the dwarf people. And were stopped by the ambassador of the orc people.
I've
And
lived
then
a
you
long life.
And not
Elves
to
are gonna-
mention,
Elves
you
are
tried
going to have
to
a...
kill the fucking ambassador.
Okay,
You
we're
tried to kill the lord of the manor.
off topic. Well, we're not off
It doesn't
topic,
matter.
but we're table talking.
Can we
Yep.
wrap it up?
Okay, so. Jesus Christ.
I just want to point out that there could have been a duel, and this could have never happened.
Right.
And I
Yeah,
agreed to a
And
duel.
listen, He didn't.
Why is
Who
violence
didn't?
always everybody's answer?
It wasn't
Wasn't
mine.
gonna go to bed.
I just wanted to go and have a nice little defensive pact. Oh yeah, so my
I
tactic.
made the peaceful statement. I made it right there, clear as day.
I know.
Okay,
Go to the
what is
orcs.
happening?
2 a.m.
So the human has walked off. You are keeping the elf on the ground until the guards get over there and talk to them. The gnome ran over, destroyed the document, and now he's standing there waiting for the guards to probably come and grab everyone, because that's what they're going to do. At which point in time, everyone collectively gets grabbed by some very confused guards and is escorted to cells. And sometime later, well, I'm gonna be straight up and say it. Your human friend has set the castle ablaze and left.
What?
Hell yeah.
Why?
I mean, it's stone, so that's not
That's
gonna
fine.
work.
Max, you really don't like me. It's a castle.
So,
Bricks. Why?
I had the same plan though. Eventually,
so
not gonna lie.
as you're finally coming to, Lord Tom, you find your hall wreathed in flame.
Am I dead or can I try to get out?
You are in a
To
jail
be
cell.
fair, I don't think any of them saw me go to do any of this.
The
I
gnome
didn't. I was being tackled.
is going to unlock his jail cell. Since it seems everybody has ran away in all the chaos of the fire. The gnome is going to go over and unlock the elves' jail cell. Because again.
Thank you.
And then he's going to go over to the orcs. Things are on fire. Do you want to let bygones be bygones and leave?
Sure.
Thank you. And he will unlock their jail cell. Now let's try to get out of here. All of you, including me, roll a d6. See if we can pathfind our way out. Or if we all succumb to horrible fire and die.
6.
I'm wondering if the other
got
effect I was
5.
talking about will kick in.
You got a 6. What Max get?
A 5.
A 5? Okay, you two are moving along your way, but then a overhead beam falls and lands on the gnome.
Oh no! No!
He's not dead, but he's certainly trapped.
Can I help him?
You may try.
And let's
Do I roll
beam
a
and help.
D6?
You both help. Both roll d6.
5.
5 and
6.
6. You get the beam off and he's
Okay.
now injured. He can barely walk, but you guys can easily lift him up and carry him along.
Carry him.
Thank you both for that.
He's a sweetheart. I love him.
I mean, so was I, but hey.
Let's get out of here before
you
anything
weren't,
else
Chef.
happens.
I mean, I
Oh
was.
God.
And
Doesn't matter. You're dead. Shut up.
as
Yeah, you're dead. You don't have. You no commentary from you.
I can
I love
comment.
you.
So am I dead or what?
I love
you're escaping, right?
Yes.
Okay, you escape.
So, need to go and gather my things then, I guess.
Well, you start to head towards your room. It's
I mean, my
engulfed in
people.
flame. Your people?
No, I
okay,
don't mean my things. I mean my people.
fine.
The people are probably running outside with their heads running about like
Yeah.
chickens with their heads cut off.
They are all chaotic and running away. Looking forward as you do so, you do see the corpse of
The halfling?
Sir Gildewald.
Yeah, the human's dead.
He appears to have burnt into flames.
Oh,
I ignore him.
did he kill himself?
Something
Well, we
happened
don't
to
know
him.
that he set the fire technically, and it looks like he's dead. And also, I thought that everybody else was gonna die, but then it occurred to me I have lockpicks. What the fuck am I doing?
Are his eyes open?
Max,
Change
you're
his
not
body
on
to
the call.
turn.
Or
You're
he's,
not. It's not the route you're on. It's the route Dylan's on.
Oh, never mind.
What did you say, Eric?
I said Max's wasn't. I couldn't hear her. If she was
Okay,
talking.
so I guess I tried to go and gather all my people.
Yeah, they're all
Teach the guards.
panicked, but most of them are
Yes.
fine. Well,
Yeah, that's why I tried to calm them down and make some order of them.
I hate to ask more things of each of you, but going at the front door with all the dwarves people who put us in those cells, I think we need to try to sneak out. Do you
I
both
don't
know how
think
to
they
swim?
would care of us escaping from a fire.
I don't want to run the chance.
The elf is screwed, but the others, you'd probably be fine, actually.
You know the dwarves sometimes they might see us surviving as an affront. Can you guys swim?
I say we sneak out. I'm okay with that.
Fine.
I have my people looking for the elf. She tried to kill me. I'm gonna assume she's the one who did this.
I got 6.
I want runners going out to the nearest outpost of it, whatever. The fucking elf just tried to murder the halfling ambassador, tried to kill
Having
me,
guards look
and
at
now
every-
my keep is burning down to the ground.
Can
We
I?
should probably have some
throw
people
out-
looking out for her.
Go on.
Did it only catch stuff on fire?
It didn't like explode, like enough to really like break it, but
Do you,
it seems like most of the things that kept most of it together have started to collapse.
I was just asking because I know that can completely remove things from existence in a big
Dwarf is
fuck
not a
off
happy
one.
dwarf.
You'd need something just a little bit more concentrated. He didn't have quite like a stockpile of that amount.
I just assumed I'd walk to the kitchen after this because shit's done.
Yeah, he just didn't have what you needed.
So nice to you too. Try to be
But-
polite.
You make your
Right,
getaway.
Abe?
Can I make a roll for like my guards trying to find her?
No, it's more of a passive thing, and also this lets me do some
Because
additional
I'm
things.
trying to have my people look for her
I
very
know.
hard.
But
He
they're
just
also
doesn't.
a highly trained
Kill.
agent and knows how to avoid them.
And I got a 6, Dylan.
And you're alive. So. all
Lady
you have to do
Shagar,
is-
Shagar, I'm very sorry that things happen this way.
It's okay.
You're not
Things,
Shagar.
sometimes you gotta do. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Fine. We're fine. I just kind of shrugged my shoulders, being like, fucking things happen. There's nothing you can do about it now. No, it would have been nice if people would listen.
Hopefully there's no drawback upon your people for all of this. Hopefully we can get there before
I
more word spreads.
Don't
I also
worry.
wish to
Don't worry, Orc.
apologize.
You're not the
What?
one who's gonna get blamed for
You're not
this.
Dylan.
He's not there.
Metagame.
You're not here,
know.
Dylan. Shut up.
Max, be
I
nice.
also wish. I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Understandable.
Abandon us.
I'm cranky.
So the
I'm sorry.
group of agents escapes. For the time being, the diplomat survives, and the only confirmed casualty is London, with the defense pact being also gone as a result. So,
But
And
the
I
other
died.
party that signed it alive.
well,
And quite willing to honor the spirit of the agreement, despite having the original thing broken.
well,
The original thing written.
this is an overview, Matt. Your characters survived; they just faked their own death.
I was just throwing it out there. I didn't know if this was going for more stuff.
And also, for good thing for Matt's character, you aren't the one who's getting blamed for this.
Okay.
Oh no.
So that
Or survived. He's not
is an
the
end
joke.
of the spy session. It kind of all kicked off real quick and went real wrong.
Yes.
Spent like
I got
3 hours yelling about taxes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then just like it mattered nothing at all because someone decided they wanted war.
They did.
I mean, we still signed the tax.
so
Hey, man.
No.
I had my
It's
own
work.
objectives
No.
I had to make, and I got my objective.
the text document is
What was
just
your
fine.
objective?
Oh,
was
it's
your
destroyed
objective?
too.
I'm gonna
Oh.
have everybody say their objective in here in just a second. The text document was just fine, but the pact is gone.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go down my list here.
Quite frankly, who has the tax thing?
You do.
Because I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't have it on me.
You do.
You do.
No, I don't. It's dead. It's
no,
burned.
you
What Eric
have it
says
on you.
go.
You still had that on you.
What Eric says go.
Eric is God. Shut up.
There would be no reason for him to remove that.
That still benefits you, to be fair.
Okay, so Matt, if you want to say
Yeah.
what your objective was, you don't need to talk about any information or stuff like that.
I was sent there to murder the gnomish representative before he created a pact with the halflings, the silicas. Silicious.
Well, he didn't make a pact, but he's still alive, so objective failed.
Yeah.
Max.
I mean, honestly, by the end of it, I stopped trying to.
well, actually, no, I lied.
Kinda-
You killed the gnome. You did it. No, the gnome. You killed the halfling. So objective completed.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Max?
You're welcome. So my objective was to disrupt any alliances from forming to maintain the status quo of the continent.
Well, you failed at that horribly.
Well,
Depends on
didn't.
how things go.
There's no alliances, but you just probably sparked off a war.
Maybe.
we'll see how things
But
go.
my objective
But she
was
stopped
no
the pact.
alliances.
She stopped the official joining of it. Okay.
Yes, that was my only goal, was no alliances.
James?
So I,
It's so close to just having my guards throw
Hold on.
you fuckers out, too.
James?
Stopped a paper from being signed. My goal was to have a pact signed between the gnomes and the dwarves
Specifically to
And-
contact and form a secret pact.
in defense of a possible attack from the orcs.
That was information, and the reason I decided not to say it is because a lot of it was inaccurate, but you don't
That's
know
fine.
that.
Yeah, I know.
Dylan?
But that was already said anyway.
All I had to do was to go and get these people, these bunch of cats, herded together and go and sign a bunch of things for taxes.
Yeah,
We
you did
just wanted
it.
to build more taxes.
We did.
Objective completed.
we can do that.
Good job. You win.
And now yes, and now I'm just going to spend the rest of my days trying to, spark up a fucking war with the elves. You're going to kill them all.
Okay.
I was,
What
I,
if I kill you
I was
first?
I was not prejudiced at all against elves before, at the start of this. I am now.
Over to Hope.
Well,
Rose,
What?
objective.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Fuck. One of them was to make an alliance with Matt's character. Kill Matt.
Well,
It was to make an
Kill Matt?
alliance
Wait,
to
what
make
was
a
that?
thing with Matt.
Yeah.
It was to make
Accusation
an alliance
was
with the humans and kill the
Damn
elves.
it! Why did you succeed?
So,
You still have a
objective
hope.
failed, and
I
it seems that
tried
now you're
twice.
friends with them. You did. It's just they Mr. Magooed their way around the
No.
situation.
I think it's so
I'm not
funny
friends
that you
with
ended
them.
up escaping with us when you tried to kill me.
To be honest, like,
I think your views may have shifted.
I was going to, like, wait until we escaped and then just be like, then stab Max. But that,
oh, I love
Eric
my
called
strategy.
game and I was just like, well shit, guess that's not in game, it just happens out game.
Also, the little
I'm
gnome would
so
have
good
opposed
at
you.
figuring things out.
You know. If
No, you
your
were just
cat-
suspicious. But,
If your character had come out the front, I would have welcomed you with open arms. Quite frankly, you didn't do anything at all. You were nice. You were polite. You didn't do shit.
You also grabbed the orc.
Yes.
Or grabbed the elf.
You
Yeah.
kept her from killing me again. So,
I died a proper gentleman as far as most people are concerned.
Hendrik the
not gonna
gnome.
lie, I was going to commit fake suicide.
Hendrik the
Anyway.
gnome was trying to keep the taxes low because they profit more from trade than they do taxation of it.
and you
And,
succeeded at that.
Is
well, he
that
failed.
why he was so agreeable
for a while.
to the reduced?
It was
And
reduced. It was still low taxes.
the other objective was to convince the Belanuan diplomat that the technology of Atticus should be monitored. And I have to say, I think I managed that.
So, half complete.
Yeah. So
I
there's
mean,
a lot
you
of
partially
failures.
completed the tax thing.
How
Even
did
we got
that-
it. I fucking
You got
put
it
it
to
to
keep it.
half.
I
You
know.
got it to keep it to go and have it low taxes at that.
So that was this.
I mean, if we're speaking half truths, I half succeeded because the dwarf that signed the other half of the fucking treaty is still alive and can honor the agreement still.
For now.
Well, the agreement
For
though
now,
is
until
gone.
I hunt him down.
Maybe.
And I'm
No, like, I was literally
Really
saying,
likely-
like, after we escaped, I stabbed.
Do you really?
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do, but then you called game.
Well, is this open
Roll
combat
out of
then?
5.
open combat. Roll it. Do
Who's
it.
getting stabbed?
I got 6.
Damn it.
My
Well, if we're
Hey,
doing
fucking-
over the top stuff,
You.
You
I
bring
just
it
want to
on.
say the
If
dwarf
you
would
don't
get
come
a
back,
note.
I will still welcome you with open arms.
Hold on. Hold on. You stab the elf. Do you then stab the gnome?
I mean, he didn't. He ripped up the treaty, but technically the other person's still alive. So it's just like, didn't want you to do that, but you weren't. You really didn't do anything to me, and you weren't a part of my objective. So unless you come after me, I'm not gonna stab you.
Do you stab the gnome or do you leave him there?
If he comes after me, then yes. If he doesn't, then it's like
Let me roll something because I got item 2.
A tiny little gnome running after a giant orc.
Anyway,
I
I roll
think
something because I got an item 2, and mine was a med kit. Once you're gone, Max, your character's fine.
Damn it!
Hell yeah. Can she think I'm dead?
Yes, that's why
Yes,
he
you
waited.
Hell yeah.
Okay, but that is going to be closed on this. Sorry, I got a little
You're
bit
stuck.
chaotic. Yeah,
This
I know.
gnome is my new best friend.
anyway, ending.
If you survivors want to make your character into an actual character at some point, do tell me, because there's not an impossibility of them appearing in the thing I'm going to run at some point in time.
Oh, happily.
Okay.
All right.
It depends.
So, any closing statements?
My dwarf is now as a holds a big grudge against the elves. Doesn't really mind the orcs though.
That dwarf is being watched by a man who's supposedly dead and disappeared.
Also, my guys went tried to send runners off to various people.
We're assuming that
telling
you're
them
doing all
exactly
that.
what happened.
You're hunting. It's assumed.
Yeah, no, not just that. I'm hunting for them, but I'm also trying to go and get the word out of what just happened because, well,
Yes,
the
I will
elves
help.
just tried to go and do the fucking ambassador.
That
Kill the
messes with
ambassador.
my politics a little bit, I'll have to say.
That's
Are
why
we
it's
Not what
runners
you're
off.
doing, but what has happened here today. So, right. I'm going to say let's go ahead and call it.
Okay.
I was neutral to the end.
Until next time. Be seeing you.
Sorry, that's sad.